What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Tani Michelle, and we are not all love, light, twins, and unicorns over here on this channel. Welcome if you are new here. This is the September 2021 tarot and astrology video for all signs. I'm going to go over each sign and what you can expect for September 2021. So make sure to watch your rising sign, your moon sign, and your sun sign. Your rising sign will resonate most. That's what these horoscopes are mainly based off of. So do keep that in mind. And I know some of you guys may be wondering, Tani, why are you doing this in all one video? But it's just easier for me that way, and it just makes more sense for me, and it gives me energy to do other videos for you guys. So I will be able to keep up more with my videos, be more consistent, and do other videos like I talked about in the September video for the general astrology, for the video before this one. So make sure to go check that out as well. All the signs will be linked down below for the timestamps. And also really quick, I also want to say that I am doing a sale right now on my readings because the world is crazy as fuck, and I feel like if anybody needs some guidance and you can afford it right now, then just check out my description down below if you are interested. And then also, that now is a great time to sign up for my Patreon. I do uncensored weekly lives every week where we get really deep into the upcoming astrology for that week, what's going on in the world, how it all relates. And I will be also doing more videos about things going on in the world and predictions and stuff like that, now that I have the space to do it, since I'm not doing 12 videos each month for each sign and putting them all in one video instead. So hopefully that makes sense. I know it'll be an adjustment period, but hopefully you guys will stick around, and hopefully you like this video. Definitely, please, 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 I would really appreciate it if you could support this video, share this video, comment down below, like this video. It's going to be a little rough for a while, and I know that I may lose some people because I'm doing the signs this way instead of putting them into separate videos. So I would really appreciate it if you could still support, comment down below, let me know what you think of your reading. And yeah, let's go ahead and start with Virgo. Alright, hi Virgo, welcome to your September 2021 tarot and astrology reading. Let's start off with your astrology, okay? So, you guys have been going through a lot in terms of who you are, yourself. It's your season. Happy birthday, by the way. So the sun is in your sign. It's your season. Let's start there. Mars is also in your sign, but it is finishing up. It's been in there for over a month now already, so probably already used to that. But there's just been a lot of drive to probably work on your health, your body, to get your shit together, you know, like where have you been slacking a bit when it comes to taking care of yourself. And so you've been really having to work on that for quite a while now, and Mars has been really pushing you and bringing up issues that you've been having with taking care of yourself, your body, etc., etc. So when we start off September, you may notice, like especially those first couple of days of September, that you are feeling a bit futile, or that you are maybe struggling with some relationship difficulties, and that's something else that you could have been noticing, especially in August and possibly somewhat throughout September as well. There could have been a lot of confusion when it comes to your relationships. There could have been a lot of breaking out of things or breaking out of certain ideals that maybe weren't quite realistic. And then there could have also been a lot of, being hopeful and faithful when it comes to relationships as well. So the first few days of the month, we have Mars opposite Neptune in your 1st and 7th house, Virgo. And basically what this means is you could be really driven for some kind of bigger purpose. And also, there could also be some actions that you're taking regarding certain ideals and future expectations within a relationship. And you've had to get, it's kind of like reality versus unrealistic, reality versus idealism, especially when it comes to what you want versus your relationships and your long-term commitments and goals for your relationships. And so this has been a really big thing that's been going on for you. Now, we also have the new moon in your sign on the 6th. I'm going to go do a whole separate new moon video for all the signs in a couple days, so be watching out for that. Make sure you're subscribed. And yeah, but that is basically going to be, just to sum it up here really quick, and we'll get into it more later, that is definitely going to be new moon, new you. When a new moon is in your sign, new moon, new you, especially if it's your sun or rising sign, you're definitely going to be feeling this. Now, here's the thing that I want to tell you, Virgo, and I know this is going to be, it's almost like really sort of futile to say this in a way, but this new moon is happening the same day that Mercury goes into shadow. So this new moon on the 6th is a big day to pay attention, because whatever happens around that time, a few days leading up to it, on the day of, maybe a few days after, or even a week after, anywhere around that first part of September, something is going to come back around. And so it's going to be really, really important for you to pay attention to that, okay? Because something is going to come back around. Something is not going to, something may begin at that time, but something else may come back up with it later, if that makes sense. So you may notice like things may not be quite perfect. And although you're feeling hyper critical and hyper nitpicky with Mars in your sign, it's okay to let things go. It's okay for things to be unknown, and it's okay to plant new seeds, but just know that they may need tending to later. Okay, so that's kind of the motto for the first part of your month, is like, it's not going to be perfect, and honestly, maybe it's perfect the way it is, right? Maybe it's just you that has a problem with it, right? Like, maybe it is perfect the way it is. Maybe we can take a step back and chill and breathe and be like, okay, it's really not that deep. Like, it could be worse. I'm not going to know all the answers right now. The puzzle pieces will come later. So something may happen where it's like, holy shit, and you're trying to sort it all out, find the answers all right then and there, but then it's like, okay, yeah, this isn't going to work, you know? So I'm going to have to wait. It's going to have to be held off, or it may seem like it's all figured out, but then may come back up later. And so, yeah, just keep that in mind. Something's coming back around, okay? So also on the 6th, we have Venus square Pluto. So once again, and when I give these dates, you guys just remember, you could be feeling this stuff a week before, a few days before, a few days after. The astrology is not necessarily like, boom, on this day, this is when you're going to feel it. It can be anywhere, just, you know, around that specific day, you know. So just keep that in mind. But we also have Venus square Pluto from your 2nd house to your 5th house. This is definitely going to be for some reason I'm getting consequences. I'm sorry, I know that's not a cute word, but I'm getting like consequences for possibly kind of doing something to the extreme. You want to make sure that you're not taking something to the extreme regarding money. Now, also, there could be some consequences if you are a parent and you have children. There could be some financial consequences going on with your children. Or there could be some massive changes that you need to make when it comes to your resources, when it comes to those you share resources with, when it comes to your money, when it comes to the things that support you or that you feel supported with, that make you feel secure. There may be some tension there or something that needs to change there, so keep that in mind. So mid-month on the 10th, Venus is going to move into the sign of Scorpio, which is your 3rd house of community and your surroundings and stuff like that. You may notice a lot of political, deep, rooted stuff coming up within your community, within your town, your city, stuff like that. Scandals could happen. But you're definitely going to start noticing things a little bit more close to home. Your social life will be a lot more felt and noticed around that time as well, from the 10th onward. You're really going to be possibly dealing with deep conversations or complex emotional issues within your day-to-day life in some way, somehow. But with Venus there, you'll be able to compromise them. You'll be able to find a way to harmonize those situations. And it could also deal with friends or partners, etc. So, and then on top of that, the 13th, 14th, the sun is going to be opposite Neptune. That may be a time period mid-month where you're really seeing something for what it is, or you're having a revelation regarding certain relationships in your life, or a certain relationship or commitment within a relationship in general. So that's going to definitely bring some exposure to something that maybe you hadn't quite seen clearly all the way. Now, on the 14th, Mars is finally going to move out of your sign and into the sign of Libra, your second house. So you already have Mercury there preparing to retrograde. Then you're going to have Mars there. This is going to definitely make you a lot more focused on your resources, your finances, those avenues in which you receive income or whatever, you know, any avenues in which you receive resources from others, from yourself, from your job, or anything that makes you feel secure, also possessions. This is going to be a time where you're getting your shit straight, where you're like, okay, what supports me? What do I need to support me? What do I need to support my lifestyle? Okay, and you're going to be really thinking about the ways that you are going about making money, or the ways that you are going about gaining the resources or gaining these things that support you, or living the lifestyle that you've been living. These are all big questions that are going to start forming mid-month and onward. You may already be seeing remnants of them now. And so, yeah, that's definitely going to be something you're going to notice. So anyways, we also will have, you also may notice some issues in the workplace or in your day-to-day life, some restrictions towards the end of the month as well, or some, you know, people wanting you to do something or follow along with something that maybe you're not feeling 100% comfortable with. You also may notice there are some things going on within your community, within your neighborhood, within your town, city, like I was saying before, that things are getting brought up that need to be dealt with. And then we have that full moon in Pisces on the 20th, which is in your opposite sign of Pisces. And so this is going to be a massive wrapping up point with all that relationship stuff. So I think you may get some closure, or you may get some final revelations, realizations, etc. on the stuff that you've been dealing with in your relationship life for like the last month or so. So yeah, there's definitely going to be kind of like, you know, something going on there where you're like, oh, okay, we're finally, you know, either closing this chapter, or we are finally moving on from this situation, or I finally know what I want, etc., etc. So anyways, and then on the 20th, on that same day, we have Venus opposite Uranus. Venus in Scorpio opposite Uranus and Taurus. This is your 3rd and 9th house. This may be themes of justice, themes of change, themes of change in your community, like I was kind of the community stuff that I was talking about before, change, some kind of change that you're learning about, you know, doing something that goes against the grain, that goes against what other people are doing in some way, maybe exposing something or getting deep into something and exposing something. But those are some things that you could know with Venus opposite Uranus, and we'll talk more about that in the full moon in Pisces video. And then on the 27th is when Mercury finally goes retrograde at the very end of the month. So, and that Mercury retrograde is going to be in your your second house of finances, resources, like I was saying before, that which you feel supports you, and the people in your life that you feel support you. This is going to be a massive reflection period, a massive change, because Mercury is going to square Pluto in your 5th. So, and this could deal with finances and children as well, or just finances and resources versus certain goals that you have for your leisure life, for the life that you want to live, the lifestyle that you want to live when it comes to, and goals that you have for that lifestyle, certain achievements that you want to have, and how that is somehow putting pressure on your resources, your finances, and that which you are being held up by, right? And that's basically what the second house is. So that is what I'm seeing for you guys, Virgo. Let's go ahead and move into your tarot cards for the month here and see what we have going on for you. Okay, so we have a lot going on here. We have, first off, the Splendid Torch. which says blaze brightly. This is definitely Mars in your first house, really putting forth that action, putting forth the things that you need to do, you know, really just going the mile, you know what I mean? But it could also bring up a sense of more nervousness, a sense of, you know, bitchiness, or being overly critical or doing too much. And so, yeah, I feel like you have time to express yourself freely right now, so use that time while you can. But the problem is the unknown is your friend, right? Learn to embrace what's next. The problem is you have all these things that you're wanting to do. You have, you know, this direction you're wanting to take, but you know that it's very unknown. And so you don't have all the answers right now, like I was saying before. And so that could really make you feel like you're being held back. And we also have where you are at is where it's at. Stay until you are divinely moved. There you go. So you're kind of in this push and pull, like, I need to move. I have all this energy, but I don't know where I'm going, right? I'm not sure what the actual move is. I can't really, it's like almost like you're trying to drive in the fog, right? And like, let's say it's an emergency, or at least you feel like it's an emergency, and so you're trying to drive fast, but the fog is so crazy you can't see straight. That's where it's kind of at. So you're having to constantly stop so you can like at least get some sort of sight to see where you're at, and then go again and then stop, you know what I mean? And so that's kind of the, or even driving in the rain, you could say as well. That's kind of the visual that I'm getting here. Now, we also have alchemy. The frequency of alchemy activates our magical ability and remembrance of the magic that we hold inside. Each one of us has the potential to access the ancient knowledge that allowed the true alchemist to perform the miracles of transmutation, alchemy, and healing. And so I feel that you are transmuting something. I think the message this month is to transmute that energy in a new way, right? What is driving you? What is this obsession that you have with, you know, this urgency, that you have this impulsivity that you have with moving forward? And where does that maybe need to be healed? Where can you transmute that energy and focus on the right here, right now? I think that would really, really help you, Virgo. And I think that could be your mantra for the month. Like, where can you hone in and focus on right here, right now, right? So we also have the High Priestess. Actually, no, first we have the Strength card and the Page of Pentacles. The Strength card is reversed. So Virgo, what I'm getting here is a sense of fear, a sense of challenge regarding finances, money, job, school, something like that. There seems to be a setback or a certain fear, a certain lack of feeling like you're in control in a certain area in your life that's material, that's more physical, that makes you feel more secure. And you kind of feel like you're scared to take a certain step, but this month you're really being able to weigh out your decisions. And it's forcing you to sit still. It's forcing you to almost be set back a little bit so you can rethink things, okay? So you can rethink things, so you can focus on what's right here, right now, right? So you can hone in on what needs to be done right here, right now. And eventually the answers will come. I know that's not like probably the thing that you want to hear the most, but the answers will come for sure. We also have the Pilgrim, and what I'm kind of getting from this card is that it's more so like you are seeking something. You are seeking to do something bigger, or you're seeking to do something more. You want a change, but you can't see the next step to make that change happen. And that's kind of where you're at right now. Now, two other cards that we got that I thought were interesting is Victim. The Victim card prevents you from letting yourself be victimized or victimizing others, which is the light attribute. The shadow attribute is playing the victim for positive feedback in the form of pity and ability to maintain personal boundaries. Watch out for this archetype this month, whether it's with you or other people in your life. This could be something that comes up. Also, we could see this with the Mars-Neptune opposition in the beginning of the month. We also have Artist here. expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the five senses, inspiring others to see life symbolically. The shadow attributes: using talent as an excuse to mistreat others, posing as the starving artist to elicit pity. So where are you maybe even pitying yourself, Virgo? Where are you maybe thinking of yourself that way, right? Or doing that to others? Because if you're doing this to others, this could be a shadow within yourself that maybe you're not seeing. So these are some archetypes that you could see this month, maybe not just in yourself, maybe in others too. So definitely keep a lookout for those. But that is what I'm seeing for you guys this month, Virgo. Definitely let me know if any of this ends up resonating and you see any of this playing out this month. I would really love to hear about it and to hear about your experiences down below. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in my other videos. Bye. Hi Libra, welcome to your September 2021 Tarot and Astrology horoscope. Let's get into it. So Libra, by the end of, I don't want to say September, but by the end of this fall, you will be a whole different fucking person. You will be a new you. Your life will be drastically different. You will see things drastically different. Your perception about things will be drastically different. There is a massive switch up coming. There is a massive hold up coming for you in the month of September. So definitely be prepared for that. And the reason that I'm saying that, Libra, is because I just get a general sense that you guys have been lost for a little while, that you guys have been possibly struggling with a lot of this stuff moving through Virgo in your 12th and opposing Neptune in your 6th. It's like, you know, I feel like there's a lot of things that you've avoided or that you've been trying to avoid, or a lot of things that you've wanted to do, but you've been having to maybe face some hard realities. You've been having to face some hard realizations. Strength card reverse, Virgo just got the same thing. So I feel that you are not really listening to your inner guidance lately. And I really see that in your cards too, and we'll talk about your cards here in a sec. I feel that you have some fears, and you have there's a sense of repressing who you are, or repressing your light, repressing your confidence, repressing. There's something that you're repressing, I feel like. And even though you have Venus there in your sign, which rules your sign, I feel like there's just a lot of things that you're holding back. There's a lot of things that you are not necessarily that you're not okay with, but you're kind of just playing the part. You're kind of just trying to keep the peace or be agreeable or whatever. And in September is a month, especially when Mars moves into your sign, Libra, mid-month on the 14th, mark it down, 14th, 15th, depending on where you are in the world, things are going to shift drastically. You're no longer going to be holding things in. It's going to be a time of really saying what you need to say, getting things off your chest, not really caring if you're controversial or not really caring if somebody else doesn't like to see it or hear it. I feel that you were in possibly some situation where, where somebody from your past may have really hurt you, or kind of impulsively did something that really hurt you in some way. And or at least somebody that you really liked or that you thought you had a connection with may have really hurt you in some way. And so I feel here that you're kind of seeing how futile things are, especially in the beginning of the month. You're kind of seeing what's pointless and what's not. But you also have to be aware that even though you're seeing things as pointless or futile, they may not necessarily be, especially in terms of the things that you want to do, the places that you want to go, the dreams that you have. you've been really kind of almost like, I hate to say it, I'm just kind of getting like a run over feeling, like a being run over kind of feeling. And I think that you've been trying so hard to keep your mouth shut, to not say what you need to say so you can appear like you are a certain way to people, but it's not going to last. I'm telling you, like this Tower, Strength reversed, you know it's coming and you're scared of it, but you don't need to be scared of it, because when that Tower comes, it's going to be a massive breakthrough for you. And that's going to get you out of this really stagnant, stuck position that you've been in, where you can finally start allowing yourself to shine, where you can finally start allowing yourself to get rid of the things that are not working, Seven of Pentacles reverse, and start focusing on the things that you want to work, Knight of Pentacles, right? And yeah, I just really see here, Libra, that there also may be some people in your life that are really not aligned with you, or not what they appear to be, or something like that. It's like, I don't know, there may be a friend or some coworkers or some, I don't know, neighbors or something that you end up, it's like there's someone that you like really want to say something to, I feel like, and it's like September, later on in September, I feel like that ends up happening, basically. So anyways, yeah, let's talk a little bit more about your astrology as well for the month of September. So the beginning of September is going to be a little bit rocky, as we have Mars opposite Neptune in your 12th and 6th house, and we did already kind of talk about that. It definitely is a time of really wanting to take action on something, really wanting to change something in something, let go of something, and you can do that around that time. You can. This is a really good time to break a habit, to stop doing something that you've been participating in that's maybe been contributing to your downfall in some way. It's a time to start recognizing these self-sabotaging behaviors or habits that you may have that are putting you in really compromising positions. And it could also be a time where you're feeling a little bit triggered, or where you end up in some kind of drama or scandal. So you do want to watch out for that, especially those first few days of September, or that where you trust somebody that really maybe can't be trusted. Okay, so keep that in mind. I more so feel like this is going to be a time where you're going to see that you've been putting in a ton of work and effort into something that maybe you didn't need to. Maybe there was an easier way, or maybe it's time to let go, maybe it's time to relax. So that's kind of what I'm getting for you guys the very beginning of September. Then we have a new moon in Virgo the same day that Mercury goes shadow, around the 6th, in your 12th house, and I think that's definitely going to be a time of you starting new habits, ones that you can kind of perfect on as you go. It's not going to be perfect right away. Just keep that in mind. Mercury is going into its shadow, so things are going to come back around, and that's okay. But it's a time to start planting new seeds, basically. And then we also have Venus, your ruling planet, squaring Pluto that day, which you may be feeling that first week of September too. And this is in your 1st and 4th house. So this could be a time where there are some intense family stuff, some intense family conflicts that come up, or some intense or complex family situations that come up that you're trying to compromise, harmonize, mediate, but there could be some trouble there. This could also be a time where you are making massive changes to your home life, your family, the dynamics or the power dynamics within the family or the home life as well. So then your ruling planet's going to move into Scorpio on the 10th, Libra, which is your 2nd house of money, finance, resources, which, you know, that is going to be a massive focus for you. You know, what supports you and what do you need? What kind of deep support do you need when Venus moves into your 2nd house in Scorpio? And then Mars is going to move into your sign on the 14th, like I was already saying. So that's definitely going to be a time where you're maybe feeling a little more confrontational, where you are feeling more, you know, like you are, like, big themes of justice and fairness are going to be coming up. You know, standing with the underdog and stuff like that. Really, you're going to be feeling more direct about your opinions and playing the devil's advocate more. You know, that's definitely going to be something. You're also going to be feeling more motivated to work on your body, your health, your appearance, stuff like that. Now, around the 14th as well, your ruling planet, you could notice it a few days before or after, but your ruling planet Venus is going to start squaring Saturn. And so you may be feeling a little bit held back in something, or there may be delays or setbacks, something along those lines. So you could notice that as well. Or you could be feeling like the things that you want, or the things that you desire, the things that you're interested in are weird or different, and so you shouldn't do them. Once again, that kind of energy I was talking about earlier, where maybe you've been trying to make yourself more agreeable and not really standing up for yourself completely. So you want to watch out for that. And then on the 20th, we have a full moon in Pisces in your 6th house sector that we're going to talk about in a separate video when I do the full moon in Pisces video. So I'm not going to get into that too much. But we also have Venus opposite Uranus that day. Your ruling planet opposite Uranus, 2nd, 8th house. That's going to be a massive time of breakthroughs regarding certain financial situations, resource situations, maybe debt or resources that you owe, breakthroughs with that, or, you know, kind of getting out of certain situations or liberating yourself from certain situations that have been weighing you down financially, could also be something that you see around that time. And then we have Mercury retrograde in your sign on the 27th, which is going to be a really big deal. Definitely. And that's really what's going to cause some massive change, because it's going to be in a square to Pluto in your 4th house. So whatever family stuff comes up that I was talking about with Venus square Pluto in the beginning of the month is likely going to come back around when Mercury retrogrades. And that's going to be a really big theme over the next couple months, where you are going through massive changes with yourself, your identity, and how that relates to your family, your roots, where you come from, your home, your living situation, where you live, your family dynamics, your personal life. You are definitely making some massive changes there, and I think for the better, honestly. So we have weird is the new cool. Libra, it says boldly express your uniqueness, which I love. Like I was saying before, allow yourself to be different, allow yourself to be weird, don't hold yourself back, don't repress yourself. We also have the North Star, flip your inner light switch. Like I was saying, allow yourself to shine for who you are, for being weird. Don't hold back what you're feeling guided to do. I mean, you're being guided for a reason, and we even have guide reversed that came out. It says places financial gain and control over imparting spiritual insight. So yeah, you could definitely be ignoring your inner guidance over certain issues, or monetary issues, material issues. We also have vampire, which says makes you aware that someone or something is draining your life force. What did I say? Depleting others for your psychic survival, chronic complaining, and codependency. So this person needs to go, just like it jumped out of my hand. Like, it needs to go. They need to go. So we also have the mentor. Get ready, because with all this stuff moving into your sign, Libra, mentor, big archetype you're going to notice over these next few months. Now, with Mars moving in your sign and all that energy in your 4th house, where are you playing the mentor in your family life, and where is that no longer working but sucking you dry? You know what I mean? We also have the comic. Don't be afraid to laugh, to have fun, to not take things so seriously, to have fun yourself too. Enjoy your weirdness, right? And let others enjoy your weirdness. We also have the card Will, and blossoming. And so I feel like your will is also going to be a big thing with Mars, like I was kind of saying before. It's definitely going to be a massive time of where you hold yourself back, you know, where you've been more worried about other people. And then we have blossoming, which is, like I was kind of saying before, you kind of blossoming out into who you really are. So that is basically what I'm seeing for you guys, Libra. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below if any of this resonated. As always, also check out the sale I'm doing down below on personal readings and my Patreon as well. And I will see you guys in my other videos. Bye. What's up, Scorpio? Welcome to your September 2021 tarot and astrology reading. Let's go ahead and get into it. So September for you, Scorpio, if I could sum it up, I would say that it deals a lot with pleasure versus pain. And the reason that I'm saying that is because we have a lot of intensity happening in the month of September, and you're going to be feeling it a lot. Because some of it's going to be happening in your sign, some of it's going to be happening in a certain part of your chart where you're going to be feeling it. Some of it's going to be happening with your ruling planet Mars, and it's just a lot. There's a lot of extremes, okay? It's going to be really easy for you to take things to an extreme or to get involved in some kind of extreme, or to almost not accept something for what it is and keep pushing and then end up in a even worse situation if you're not careful. So I did just want to give that warning to you guys really quick, because this is a month where you're really going to want to push the limits, and that's fine in certain circumstances and certain ways. And you're also going to be feeling really kind of judgy about certain things, like you know, because we have the judge archetype here, we have Sun in Virgo, we have a shit ton of stuff about to move into Libra for the month of September, which is your 12th house. So you're going to be feeling quite like nitpicky about things. And I think that that could have you feeling like I need to take things to an extreme to fix this or to make it perfect or to make it the way that I want it. And that could cause some disruption if you're not careful. So basically, let's get into it. Okay, so we start off this month with a certain transit that could make you feel a little bit like you have a certain desire, you have a certain pleasure, a certain passion, something that you want to do, but you're not quite sure what that is, right? Or that you're trying to or you're motivated to bring that passion out into the world or to other people, but there could be some confusion around it, or there could be some confusion in your social situation as well, a certain social situation, a certain friend group with networking in some way. You could feel like you are trying to do something with people, but maybe it gets taken a little bit too far, or maybe it's not exactly what you thought it was going to be. So that could happen smack dab in the beginning of the month. So you do want to watch out for that. You also want to watch out for like escapism tendencies, or you know, getting involved in some kind of scandal just because you were trying to have a good time or escape, but maybe it's taken a little bit too far. So just pay attention to that. It may not even be a bad thing. Maybe it could also be something where you are doing something creative, or that you are putting something out there to create some kind of change, hope, faith, because we do have be one with the sun here, be the light, and we even have this sun card. So I think that this is a time where you could really be facing some fears or shining light on certain fears, helping other people overcome certain fears or challenges that they're having mentally, and really work through them. You know, there could be a massive sense of wanting to help or wanting to create change for people this month, especially friends or even other people that you know or that are like-minded people in some way, right? So So on top of that, also in the beginning of the month, Mercury will move into shadow. So whatever comes up these first few weeks of the month, you're really going to want to pay attention because it's going to come back around, okay? And this is going to be very prevalent for you in an area of your life that deals with certain subconscious habits, certain subconscious patterns, the past, certain relationships that are somewhat hidden or unseen, or certain things about those relationships that are hidden or unseen, power dynamics in relationships. Also, maybe wanting to get away or things that you've been avoiding. Mercury retrograde is going to bring those things up. It could also be giving you a lot of messages through your dreams as well. So definitely pay attention to that. And then on top of that, also in the beginning of the month, we have Venus squaring Pluto. And this is definitely going to bring up some stuff for you, that kind of first taste of taking things to extremes, right? Like maybe something that you desire, or some kind of pattern or old pattern even that you desire to get back into, or something, but it may be toxic for you. This could also bring up jealousy in certain relationships or social situations. It could also bring up certain things that need to be changed that maybe you've been putting off as well. So then on the 10th, we have Venus moving into your sign, Scorpio. So you will definitely be feeling more of that Venusian beauty, love, romance, harmony kind of energy of Venus. And so definitely keep a lookout for that. Finding beauty in the deep and the dark places, right? With Venus in your sign. And then on the 14th, we have Mars, your ruling planet, moving into Libra. Now, what I will tell you with Mars moving into your 12th house, Scorpio, is this could bring up a certain sense of maybe people that you almost like betrayal, basically, is what I want to say here. It could be past betrayals, current betrayals. It could be betrayals by other people that really aren't even in your life, but you're just seeing it a lot. But I really feel like this could be where you are really seeing a more darker, hidden side of relationships, betrayals. And it doesn't necessarily have to be in your relationships exactly. It could just be in the world in general, right? And it could also bring up certain patterns and habits and certain unjust situations that you're wanting to fight for that you don't feel are being exposed. That could be another big thing that you see. You could also, once again, be facing patterns and challenges to, certain patterns and habits that you have that are kind of almost self-sabotaging, and because the 12th house is the area of self-undoing. And so with Mars here, it can definitely bring up some hidden stuff like in our subconscious, or like actually physically hidden, whether in our life or what we're seeing in other people's lives, and that we're gonna want to address, basically, where we feel things are not fair or not equal or unjust in some way. So that could definitely be, you may get really into some social stuff around that time as well. So you'll definitely notice that for like the next month or two with Mars and Libra. And then we also have Venus squaring Saturn, Venus in your sign, squaring Saturn around mid-month as well. And yeah, this could bring up some delays or setbacks or restrictions regarding your home life, your family life, your kind of home dynamics, family dynamics, in some kind of way. This could definitely be a certain holdup or setback that maybe, or a certain way that you maybe been wanting to express yourself, but you feel like you can't because of how you were raised, or your family, or your parents, or your home situation, or something like that could come up around that time. And then, but on the 20th, we have Venus opposite Uranus. So that is basically like, you know what, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I don't care what other people have to say about it. I'm going to express myself the way that I want. You could be inspired by somebody else as well. And yeah, it could also bring up some interesting shifts or breakthroughs in relationships as well around that time. And then on the 27th, we have Mercury going retrograde in Libra, which is going to be a massive reflection of those 12th house themes, those habits, those subconscious patterns, and also, you know, maybe things that you've been avoiding or things that you haven't been looking at. So things that are hidden, basically. But Mercury is going to be squaring Pluto in your third. Okay, so it could bring up a lot of, could bring out a lot of hidden stuff in your local environment, your community, your neighborhood, a lot of hidden information. It could bring up a lot of hidden stuff to do with relatives, siblings, stuff like that. It could, you also want to watch around that time, make sure your car is taken care of, that there's no like, that you're like not forgetting to change your oil or something and then your engine explodes. So you do want to watch out for that around that time as well. I'm not saying that's necessarily going to happen. I'm just saying that could be a detail that could happen with Mercury square Pluto in your 12th and in your third. But this is definitely a time where you are really changing your perception on something. You're really changing your views on something. You are really being possibly changing the way that you think about things, you know? And so anyways, moving on to your cards. So we have a lot of themes here coming up. So like I was saying, we have extremes and we have patience. And so this month there's going to be a lot of different instances where you're going to want to take off. You're going to want to like push the limit. You're going to want to do something to an extreme. You're going to want to, you know, really get deep with it or get, you know, to take it all the way there. And, you know, the cards are saying to practice patience, to also practice acceptance. You know what I mean? Not everything is black and white, right? And there are gray areas, and you don't need to get too worked up, to get too into one side or the other. And so try to find the balance between the two. And we even have the Two of Swords between the Ten of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles, which are also very two extreme ends, right? The Five of Pentacles is challenge and, you know, lack and all of that. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles, which is like best case scenario, achieving the highest that you can, you know, and feeling materially secure and all of that, materially stable. And so once again, you know, you could be on kind of like the spectrum going back and forth between, you know, one extreme or the next. And so you have to find the balance. And I think this month is really pointing that out to you guys, Scorpio. We also have power and pleasure. And so like I was saying, pleasure and pain in the beginning. And there definitely will be a sense of power here. You know, for a lot of you guys, this could be a really political month as well. You know, even if you're not normally really into all the politics of stuff, but with all that stuff moving through Libra and Pluto and Capricorn, this is definitely going to bring up politics for a lot of people. Could be something affecting your area or your local environment, your local community in some way. Your day-to-day reality in some way. And so finding a balance, once again, I think can really help you there. Now, also with power and pleasure, you may be getting pleasure out of things that make you feel powerful, right? Or things that make you feel intensely, right? And so you also want to watch that too, because that's another thing that you could take to an extreme, right? We also have dream redirection. So I think that you are really at a time, Scorpio, where you are being redirected in your life. And as I was kind of saying before, you could see a lot of symbolism coming through for your dreams for this as well, where, you know, there's a certain situation in your life that it's time to redream. It's time to transform, right? Shapeshifter. It's time to transform, and that's okay. You know what I mean? Some of you may be a little bit worried about disappointing others or worried about other people judging you in some way, but I really think that this, you know that this is what you need to do. So anyway, so that's what I'm getting for you guys, Scorpio. Definitely let me know down below If this resonated, it really does help me out to hear your guys' feedback. I would really love to know. Also, don't forget to check out my Patreon and my sale that I'm having on all of my readings, which is all linked down below for you to go check out. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in my other videos. Bye. What's up, Sag? Welcome to your September 2021 Tarot and Astrology reading. Let's go. Let's get into it. So, wow, Sag, looks like you have a pretty big mother effing month, as I think we all do in some way or another, right? But what I'm seeing for you, Sag, I kept hearing the question, was it worth it? Is it worth it? I don't know if you're asking yourself that or if that's something that you will be asking yourself during September. And I just feel like you're really wondering if something was worth it, or you will be. And yeah, I really can't necessarily give you the answer to that because I feel that's something that you will have to see in due time. But I can tell you what I see astrologically and intuitively and through the tarot and stuff. But basically, Sag, September is a month where it starts off one way and then it ends and it's like a whole nother way and you're like, what the hell just happened, you know? So in the beginning of the month, you may be really focused on career and your goals, your achievements in life, where you're going in life, where you want to go in life. But then you also have kind of this confusion when it comes to where you should be settling down, or your home life, or your personal life, or your family, or something along those lines. So it may feel like, you know, you have this certain direction that you want to go, but it's hard for you to totally see clearly. And so you're kind of just having to wing it. You're kind of just having to trust in it or to have faith. And so yeah, but there's you're putting a lot of energy into your career or into the things that you want to build in life, your legacy, the things that you want to achieve, where you're going, you know? And I think that you're just confused on if that direction is going to be worth it, or if these big life changes that you want to make are worth it, or are going to pay off in the end, or how that's going to affect your home life, your personal life, your family, etc., etc. So there could be some stuff around that in the very beginning of September. Sorry, I'm trying to make this chart a little smoother for me. But yeah, and then on top of that, in the beginning of September as well, we have a new moon in your 10th house. And so puzzle pieces are starting to come together. You're, you know, possibly setting some new intentions, doing some new things, you know, planting some new seeds. But at the same time, Mercury goes into shadow that day. So things may not be perfect, and that's okay, right? Things may come back around. Things may like reveal themselves as we go throughout the month and throughout next month as well. So if things aren't perfect right away or aren't clear right away, that's okay. Like, just know that it's okay. It's normal. It's not just you. So if you're super confused in the beginning of the month, that will dissipate. You will become more and more aware and more, you know, you'll know more and more as we go on, like what's going on and what needs to go where and what needs to be readjusted. Okay, so don't worry about that. But we also have Venus squaring Pluto in the very beginning of the month, and basically what this means for you, Sag, is that your 11th and 2nd house are in a square with each other, which is, you know, your 11th house rules over your friends, networking, your aspirations, you know, where you feel your place in the world is, and the people that you want to meet, and the things that you want to do that can possibly get you to your goals and achievements, right? Versus a challenge between your resources, your finances, the things that you feel you rely upon, or the things that you feel you need in order to continue to be who you want to be or live the life that you want to live. And so there could be some power dynamics that come up here, or some changes that need to happen to get to where you want to go, and some fears that need to be faced when it comes to your finances, your resources, your money. also what you feel that you're worth and what you feel that what you accumulate is worth, right? And so these could definitely be some things like questions of the power that you have in certain situations, and power is coming up a lot in your cards as well. You know, what power do you hold in these situations in your life? And do you feel you have the power? You know, and I think over these next few months, you're going to be seeing your power in a completely new way. And I think by the end of it, it's really going to be something beautiful. I think you're really starting to come into your power and see what you're worth. But there may be some tests or some, you know, lessons that you learn along the way starting this month in September, where you have these squares to your second house from Libra multiple times this month and next month. So things will come up and then you'll see them come back around like a week or two later. So definitely be prepared for that. Things may also, you know, there may be some social things. You may be feeling a lot more social this month. You know, you may be hearing from a lot of people or networking a lot more or finding like-minded people, or even mediating with a lot of people, kind of being the mentor, which is one of the cards that we got for you this month. And, you know, you may be really kind of mediating, negotiating, being the peacemaker in certain situations, or at least trying to, right? Really trying to show people maybe what they're not seeing, right? And that could come with some, or people are trying to do that to you. Maybe people are trying to show you what you're not seeing. And so, yeah, there could definitely be some issues that come up with friends versus money in some way, or friends versus resources in some way. So just keep an eye out for that. Certain social situations that kind of test your worth or test, you know, what you have physically and materially in some way. So then we have Mars moving into Libra, which will definitely possibly bring about some confrontation in your social life, or some conflict or debates, or, you know, more so of a focus on justice, fairness, peace, and or possibly politics in some way. Stuff like that you could definitely see coming up mid-month and for the next couple months. It could definitely be a big deal for you, Sag. Then we have Venus square Saturn mid-month as well. So coming from your 12th to your 3rd. So there could be some things or restrictions that you feel are limiting you in your local environment, or with certain day-to-day responsibilities that you feel are holding you back from really kind of just chilling, relaxing, and doing things that you want to do, or getting away. You could feel like this is also disrupting your sleep schedule, or, you know, it's kind of like you may want to just, you may desire to just kind of get away, or relax, kind of retreat a little bit out of society, but then you have these responsibilities or these commitments that you have to commit to on a day-to-day basis. And so there could be a little bit of a push and pull between that mid-month as well. And then around the 20th, Venus will oppose Uranus. And this is when you're just like, you know what, fuck it. I need to do something. I need to retreat. I need to do what I want. I need to do what I desire. I need to take a step back. I need to shift. You know, there could be some major breakthroughs when it comes to certain habits in your life, certain you know, things that you're doing on a day-to-day basis. There could be major breakthroughs in health as well. If you've been dealing with any health issues or, you know, physical issues, there could be some major breakthroughs there as well towards the end of the month. And then on the 27th, we have Mercury retrograding in the sign of Libra, and it's going to square Pluto when it retrogrades, which is a big deal. So, yeah, that's once again, I'm going to bring up that 11th, second house theme for you of people and society and where you fit in and your aspirations within the world, with some challenges to your money, finances, resources, worth, you know, security, the things that you feel support you. And so, yeah, and Mercury retrograde is definitely having you reflect on what it is that you want out of life and what it is that you're worth. where your power is and what certain fears that you have related to security that are holding you back. And so anyways, moving into your cards, so we have power, which we've talked a lot about, and we have blossoming. And this is where I just really feel like, yes, you may be learning lessons in power and worth, and where you feel powerless over certain things, and where you maybe are powerless over certain things and need to accept that. But you are also blossoming into your power. You are also blossoming into your true power, your true worth. And, you know, not settling for things that are really just superficial in the end. And I think that's what you're really seeing. Another interesting card we have is the box. And I feel like Sag, with the box, it's like you can't box shit in, right? And I've been saying this a lot lately about a lot of this stuff going on in the world. It's just so ignorant to believe that humans are one label or one thing, or whatever the fuck, you know, like you're left or you're right, or you're pro or anti, right? And it's like, no, you know what I mean? Like, not everybody is a fucking label. You can't box everybody fucking in. You know, as soon as you do that, what you're trying to do is disempower them. And you could find people are possibly doing that to you this month, you know what I mean? It's just, they're trying to basically say, oh, because you fit in this box, because I'm putting you there, because it fits my narrative and it fits my belief system for me to put you there, because I don't like you, what you're saying. I disagree with basically what you're saying. And I don't want to hear it because it could put me in fear if it's true. And so I'm just going to throw this label on you and put you in this box and categorize you as this, so I don't have to fucking listen to you. Boom, you're disempowered. I don't have to listen to you anymore. Goodbye. You know what I mean? And people that do that are unfortunately very desperate. And I'm not just saying that, like, it's psychologically, they're desperately trying to make you out to be some bad person because it fits with their narrative. It will make them feel better. So they're coming from a place of lacking within themselves. And this could also be you, Sag. You know, maybe you're doing this to other people. Maybe you're focused on categorizing other people and boxing people in. But I would say with the mentor here, you know, possibly not so much, because I do feel like you're being a little bit more open-minded this month. You are trying to harmonize differences. You are trying to mediate, you know. And so I think that it's more so you need to get out of your box, or get out of this mentality of being stuck, or because of what other people may think, or other people's perceptions, or whatever. So that's kind of what I'm getting. So we also have breadcrumbs of bliss. Heed your pleasure principle. So this is definitely, you know, kind of saying that you are definitely going to be looking for pleasure this month. We even have the Empress and the Ace of Cups. With the Chariot, it's like you are definitely going to be driven by pleasure and what feels good this month. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but you want to make sure you're not taking that to extremes. Okay, you could, and like a way that I see this happening is like, yeah, let's go out tonight. I'll pay for everybody. I'll buy everybody's drinks. And then you end up spending like a shit ton of money that you weren't really expecting to spend. You weren't really thinking that much about it. You didn't realize how much it was going to be. And then boom, you're like really fucked, you know? And so you do want to watch out for taking things to extremes with your finances, your money, your resources, on account of friends, other people, socializing, social events, stuff like that. You could really drain yourself that way and end up in a really big crisis situation if you're not careful. So as much as I think, you know, there's a way to balance, you know, finding the pleasure, but making sure you're not blowing the bank on it. You know what I mean? Putting yourself in a fucked up situation, boxing yourself in, right? Now we also have never a crowd on the leading edge. And I don't quite understand that. Underneath of it, it says honor those who honor you. So never a crowd on the leading edge. I'm not quite sure what that means exactly, but what I get from it is that it takes a lot to do something that's more on the edge. It takes a certain kind of person, right? Somebody that's brave to do something that nobody else is doing, right? And it's really easy for the crowd to make fun of you or to say things about you or try to box you in once again. But it's actually harder to continue to do it even when people are saying shit about you and this, that, and the other. And so I feel like Sag, you know, really kind of like it says, honor those who honor you. Don't forget to honor those that are supportive of you, that are being there for you. You know what I mean? And the ones that aren't, then you don't have to take it too harshly or let it get to you too much if they aren't, because you know, they are in their own thing. You know, they're doing, it's likely not even personal. It's something going on with them. You know what I mean? You can't control how other people feel or how other people perceive you, right? We also have Whale of a Time. Your charge is to enlarge. So I feel like you're being called to do something big, Sag. I really feel like you have like a pretty big month here. You're being called to do something big, to, you know, maybe you're supposed to do something to an extreme. I would just say to just be careful, but maybe there's some kind of lesson in it for you. You never know. So, yeah, I definitely feel like you're being called here for something, because we also have the Emperor. Coming after that, we have the Moon and the Hanged Man. And so I definitely feel like there is it's almost like you're holding yourself back out of fear. You're holding yourself back out of some kind of perception that is not even real, or something that you've been telling yourself, or lies or gossip that may not even be real. You know, like fears, definite fears, and you're holding your power back. You know what I mean? And it's like you have something bigger going on here. So we have the King of Pentacles also, and the Nine of Swords reverse. Once again, breaking those fears, breaking out of those fears that you have materially, fears that you have when it comes to success, when it comes to your job, when it comes to your material world, all of those things. So you could definitely see stuff like that coming up in the month of September. So that is basically what I'm getting for you guys, Sag. Definitely let me know down below if this reading resonated with you guys and if it was helpful. I would love to hear about it down below. It would really help me out if you would comment down below as well. It helps my video out a lot. And definitely also make sure to hit the description button down below and look at the stuff that I have down there. I have a sale right now on my personal readings. I also have stuff going on my Patreon, exclusive content where we get uncensored and talk about a lot of the shit going on in the world and how that relates to the astrology. So if that's something that you're interested in and you're not easily triggered by the stuff going on in the world, then definitely check that out. And also follow me on Instagram because I talk a lot on there about stuff as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really appreciate your support, and I will see you guys in my other videos. Bye. What's up, Capricorn? Welcome back. And yeah, this is your September 2021 tarot and astrology reading. Let's go ahead and get into it. So September for you, Capricorn, could definitely bring up some intensity. I mean, it is for everybody, but for you specifically, it could definitely bring up some extremes, some tests, some lessons when it comes to yourself as a person, because Pluto in your sign is going to be getting rocked and squared by quite a few planets throughout September. And so this could definitely bring up some big changes within yourself, also some big fears about yourself or about your life in some way. But it could also bring up a lot of change that may have needed to happen for a while. You changing certain things about your life, you facing certain difficulties or certain challenges instead of avoiding them or hiding from them. It could bring up some identity stuff with, like, you know, who you are and what you feel deeply about, and if you are able to change that or not, you know. Could bring up a lot of purging as well. And so this is definitely like different planets are coming across and squaring Pluto to give you a new look at yourself, to give you either a chance to change some things that you don't like and to purge some things that you don't like, or to get even deeper within yourself and who you are and be able to accept that, right? And so in a way, it's pretty beautiful, you know what I mean? I know some people are going to hear that and be like, oh, it's so negative, but in a way, it's pretty fucking beautiful. You know, you are really going through some changes of what you want, what you desire when it comes to your life, when it comes to your career, when it comes to authority figures in your life, when it comes to your path and where you feel headed or where you feel called towards, right? So yeah, but there could definitely be a lot of social changes happening in the career this month, Cap. There could also be a lot of confrontations, unfortunately, though, happening as well in career with authority figures, with, you know, people that you view that are in a position of power, right? And this is really showing you if you really feel or if you really have faith in the path that you're on right now and where you're going, where you're headed, if you have faith in the future that you are aiming towards, if you have faith in the future that you're trying to build for yourself, and also how to compromise and how to see other sides, how to harmonize certain issues that may be happening within the career place with other people, especially social issues more so in the career place and in the world in general. It could also just be in the world if it's not in the career. This is going to be a very political month, unfortunately. Like, we need more of that, right? It could definitely be a very political month this month and next month, so you could definitely notice a lot of that coming up. A lot of debates, a lot of confrontation, and yeah, so it's a very provocative month as well. But anyways, this is a time where you are, like I said, the beginning of the month could be a little bit turbulent. There could be some confusion between what you want to do out in the world and what you feel called towards, where your faith is, what you're going to school for, what you're learning, your philosophies, your belief systems on life, travel, what you want to do, the things that you want to go experience, versus some unknowns or some mysteries within your local environment, your local area, your town, your city, your neighborhood. There could be a lot of, there could be a lot of change happening in your environment, and there could be a lot of change happening in your community as well, socially. And so this could definitely be a time where you start almost taking action on some kind of new future for yourself, on some kind of bigger vision for yourself, your environment, or your community in some way. Could also be a time where you're really driven to learn more or to dive deeper into something based off certain things that are happening around you. And I think that you're going to get a massive realization about this probably like mid-month, when the sun opposes Neptune. You're going to get a pretty big realization, I think, about, what you have faith in and what you are feeling called to do. Things are going to be exposed around that time, so definitely watch out for that time. Now, other than that, back to the beginning of the month, we also have Mercury going into shadow on the 6th, which is the same day as the new moon in Virgo, which is this is going to be pretty big, because whatever happens around that first week and even the first few weeks into September are going to come back around. Okay, so definitely prepare for that. Prepare for things to come back around, things to be brought back up again. You could definitely see that. Now, another thing to prepare for is imperfection. It's going to happen. Okay, so if you're working towards something, it may not be exactly every little detail how you wanted it to be or how you envisioned it to be, and that's okay. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Also, we have Venus squaring Pluto also on the 6th. Venus in Libra squaring Pluto in your sign, so 10th first house square, and this is where I was telling you this is a time of really digging deep and figuring out what your values are as a person and what's meaningful to you, versus other people's values, what other people want, people in your career, people of authority, people in the world. And so this is definitely a time where you could feel a little bit riled up, or you know, a little bit triggered about something happening socially in the world or in career, or something along those lines, or something that you wanted for your future, but it causes you to make some kind of change, or it causes you to look deep within, or it causes you to transform something about yourself. Okay, so that something along those lines could happen in the beginning of the month as well. Now, we also have Mars moving into your 10th house sector on the 14th. And that's definitely going to drive a lot of action and focus towards your career sector, towards that worldly sector, your public achievements, your reputation, authority figures. You know, where is it time to allow yourself to almost, you know, express yourself and your individuality? Even if that means it may rock the boat a little bit, things could get a little confrontational, and honestly, maybe it needs to, right? You could also be really fired up about justice, peace, fairness within the career, or within certain power dynamics, or within the world in some way, social situations. You could also see, you know, some things coming up with compromise and mediation that needs to happen in that sector as well. So other than that, we have Venus square Saturn around that same time, along with Sun opposite Neptune, like I already talked about, where you're going to have that massive realization. And then we also have Venus square Saturn, which is your 2nd and 11th house. And this could definitely be a time where maybe there are certain things that you desire, certain aspirations you have, certain social situations or connections that you're trying to make, but you know, maybe you're feeling not worthy, or maybe you're rejecting certain opportunities based on certain ideals, or a way that you think you need to be, or certain resources, or certain monetary reasons. Either way, there's going to be some kind of challenge between connections and aspirations versus finances, resources, you know, ideals that kind of support, that you feel are supporting you in some way. So there could be some kind of restriction there around that 14th, maybe a few days before, a week before, whatever, but there's some time around that mid-month section, basically. And then Venus is going to oppose Uranus, and then it's like, you know what, fuck this. I don't care. I'm going to do what I desire. I'm going to do what I want. It's in your houses of pleasure and connecting and romance and beauty and children and sexuality and creativity. And so it's definitely going to be a time of allowing your inner rebel or your inner wild child to kind of break free and doing something different and unique and outside of the box, outside of the norm. And yeah, so that definitely could happen. There could also be some weird things coming up with friends or connections around that time, or some unexpected things, so do keep that in mind as well. But for the most part, I think it's really going to be like, you know what, I'm going to express myself, and I really don't, you know what I mean? It's going to make me feel good. It's going to liberate me. So that's what I'm going to do. And then on the 27th, we have Mercury retrograde in Libra, your 10th house, massive life changes. Hello. Especially massive life changes regarding relationships, connections, career, your world image, your world views, your, the things that you want in life, the things that you're building, the legacy you want to leave behind, the direction you're taking in life. Massive changes coming there because Mercury is going to square Pluto. And so this is going to cause you to change something about the way that you're seeing things or the things that you want or the road that you're on, okay? And so it's pretty big. So we have coming up here first, let's see, what do I want to start with? Let's start with this. From fear to fuel, stand still and own your power. Wow. And I think that's what this month is about, Capricorn. It's a lot about coming out of fear and coming into a place of feeling more empowered within yourself. And there may be certain lessons along the way to doing that, but either way, it's definitely asking you to be deeply and truly honest and authentic with yourself this month. We also have divine drunkenness, surrender to your spiritual reverie. And so once again, you may be in certain situations where you have to surrender, but through that surrender, you end up in really cool harmony within yourself, alignment within yourself. You start feeling more empowered. You start feeling better about yourself. You start feeling more spiritually connected with yourself than you did before. We also have the realization card, like I was talking about before. We also have extremes. Okay, Scorpio got this card as well. So this is a month where it could be really, really easy for things to get taken to extremes, or for you to take things to extremes, for you to be triggered by certain things, or to feel like you have to overpower certain things, or that you have to defend certain things. And while some of that is okay, while some of that is possibly your path, and maybe will be part of your lesson, it just may be very easy for you to be on one extreme or the other. And this month is really going to hone in on you finding some kind of balance within your life. And we also have the card, the masculine. And it's interesting because I was actually going to make a post on Instagram yesterday about masculinity and the shadow side of masculinity, but I ended up not doing it. I did save it though to post later, but because I actually was saying some really good shit, but basically I feel like with the masculine here, it really goes with this kind of power theme. And then we also have the father. So you're definitely getting some masculine vibes here. And I really think that you're being called to step into your power, to trust yourself more, to get to the bottom and to the roots of why you maybe betray yourself or sabotage yourself or don't trust yourself or hold back or whatever. You're really being forced to kind of get to the bottom of that, to dig deep within yourself this month, like I was saying before, and to allow yourself to get into a healthy form of your masculinity, your masculine energy, right? So anyways, let's move to your tarot cards. So we have the Ace of Wands, the Seven of Cups, which makes a lot of sense because we also have the Eight of Pentacles. Like I was saying, that first part of the month, you may be a little bit confused. It's like, I need to take action, I need to do something, but I can't quite see the direction yet. I can't quite see how it's going to play out yet. I'm not quite sure what's going on. I don't even know what's real and what's not, or if this is real or it's not. And so I'm not really sure what I should do. And so, like I was telling, I think it was it Virgo? I think it was Virgo. Focus on right here, right now, right? Be here right now. Focus on the small things right here, right now, instead of the abstract, larger picture, right? Like, I know it's easy to do that with Sun in your 9th house, but the things that you're focusing on right now, here, right now, lead to the bigger picture with Virgo in your 9th house, right? And so, as you focus on right here, right now, things will become clearer. The puzzle pieces will start fitting together, Cap. So we also have the Six of Wands, okay? And then we have the Four of Cups. Interesting. And so this is kind of like, I got some unwanted recognition, or I got some unwanted attention is kind of what I'm getting from this. It's kind of like you're I almost feel like you're kind of trying to get to some kind of milestone, or you had been, and then this month you're kind of like, that wasn't as liberating as I thought it would be, or that wasn't as great as I thought it would be. It's kind of like you order some food, and then the food, like, it looked so good in the picture, but then you eat it and you're like, yeah, this really wasn't all that. Like I don't know if you guys have been to Red Lobster lately, but I went to Red Lobster like a few weeks ago. Well, no, actually it was like probably like a month or so ago now. But and oh my God, like I remember Red Lobster being like fucking high quality shit, like really tasted good, and anything I ever got from there like tasted fucking bomb. And I went for the first time in like years, like a month ago, and ordered a few things, and none of it freaking tasted right. Like none of it tasted good. Like I don't even know if it was real. Like I don't even fucking know, but it was just so like, this is not what I remember it being at all. Like I don't know what happened. And that's happened to me with like a lot of restaurants recently. I don't know if that's happened with anybody else, but that's kind of what I'm getting. It's like you sit down at the 5-star restaurant and then you're kind of like, or you finally get something you've been wanting, but you kind of want something else. And so that's where it could be really easy to start taking things to extremes. Sorry, that's the wrong card. To start taking things to extremes and feeling like, oh, I need to get something else now. I need to do something else now. Focusing on bigger and better, you know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that, but make sure you enjoy here now, you know, make sure you be here now. Like it's okay. And try to remember to just do what you can here now, enjoy what you can here now. And it'll be fine. You know what I mean? I also feel like this could be for some of you not feeling like you are getting what you're worth as well, which could be a whole nother thing. And in that case, then yes, I would say like, you know, go for the bigger, like, and you know, I just feel like you're really thinking long-term future goals, what you want to build, what you want to achieve, all of that stuff. So yeah, that is basically what I'm getting here for you guys, Capricorn. Definitely let me know down below if any of this resonates or ends up resonating throughout the month. I'd really love to hear about it and hear your feedback. It really helps me out a lot. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Check my description down below if you would like a more personal reading with me. I have a sale going on right now, and also I do a lot of cool stuff over on Patreon, exclusive stuff, so you can check that out down below as well. Follow me on Instagram for more of a daily post and daily updates and stuff like that, and I will see you guys in my other videos. Bye. What's up, Aquarius? Welcome back, and let's get into your September 2021 tarot and astrology reading. So Aquarius, what a weird reading. Wow. I'm getting quite some things that I was not necessarily 100% expecting, so bear with me. Some of it may resonate, some of it may not. It is a general reading, and the astrology portion may resonate more for Aquarius rising though, so do keep that in mind. I just wanted to say that before people start commenting and saying it doesn't resonate. Also, it may resonate as the month goes on, since it is for the month of September. So if you're watching this still in the beginning of the month, then it may not resonate right away. So that could be it too. So anyways, yeah, so basically, Aquarius, your month of September, what I'm seeing here is how to be more adaptable and how to reorganize what it is you need to, the things that maybe you've been putting off, or certain debts that you have, like whether like actual, you know, physical, you know, debts with finances, or whether it's debts that you have energetically within yourself, blocks that you have energetically. It's really just like the shit that you keep in your basement that you put aside but you don't want to deal with, right? And so this is a month with the sun in Virgo in your 8th where it's like there's a damn freaking ring light down there now, like just shining the fuck away, and it's like, look, Are you going to deal with this shit or not? You know, and so dealing with this shit though can bring up massive life changes, or there could be external changes that bring up this shit for you to deal with, right? So either way, it's like you need to reorganize the damn basement. You need to get rid of what's down there that you're not using, you know, and I'm saying this metaphorically, but for some of you, maybe it is literally your basement, but I'm just saying, metaphorically speaking, there's some shit that needs to be dealt with. And I also feel like, Aquarius, you guys have been like, I don't know, I'm just getting a lot of themes in this reading, especially with the cards, that you are pushing something, or that you are trying to possibly force something, that you are really trying to make something happen that's shown you time and time again that like it may not happen, or that it's not going to happen, and you're trying to come up with different ways, possibly like even ways that are more hidden or more backdoor, you know, to get something that you want, or to kind of fill this void. But it's kind of like the cards are telling me like stop, basically. And so I don't know if all of you guys will resonate with that, but that's just a massive theme that I'm getting in the cards so far. But so yeah, other than that, let's start with your astrology and then we will get to your cards. So some of the major shit going on this month is that we are having a shit fuck of planets aspecting Pluto in your 12th house in Capricorn, right? Pluto in your 12th house in Capricorn is basically all of the areas in which are hidden that you are self-sabotaging yourself, that you are literally going through some kind of self-undoing behaviors or subconscious ways, subconscious habits, subconscious shit that is being dug up from the past, subconscious patterns, karma, whatever, being dug up from the past. And so you may be going through massive changes this month, massive death and rebirth cycles, this is a massive time where you are really transmuting possibly old pain and turning it into healing, right? Like really doing something opposite, right? And so what I really see here, Aquarius, with the sun in your 8th house, shining a light on all that shit like I was talking about, and then also the very beginning of the month, Mars in your 8th house opposing Neptune in your 2nd. It's going to be bringing up some stuff with like finances and money and resources and stuff that you owe or stuff that's owed to you, but it could also be bringing up where maybe you've been a little bit too idealistic about something, or where you need more boundaries with certain money situations or financial situations, and where maybe you're not seeing something clearly. Honestly, this concerns me a little bit because I feel like you could make an impulsive decision that could end up like backfiring. So do be careful with that. There could be the potential for you, you know, getting scammed or something like that as well. So watch out for that. Not like a super high risk potential, but it's still nonetheless a potential. So that's like the beginning of the month. And then also Mercury is going into shadow. So whatever happens the first few weeks of September, pay attention because that will come back around. Okay. And also we have Venus square Pluto. Venus in your 10th and Scorpio squaring Pluto in your 12th. Venus in your 9th and Libra squaring Pluto in your 12th. So this to me is a massive, it's almost like there's some kind of social thing going on when it comes to learning, or when it comes to philosophies, or when it comes to belief systems, or when it comes to politics or legalities, justice, something that maybe you want to be involved in, or maybe that you want to do, but you feel almost like you can't for some reason, or there's some kind of change to it, or you feel powerless possibly as well. Or this could be some kind of like debate, or some kind of discussion where maybe you get triggered, but you don't know why you're triggered. And so Pluto, that's like the first hint of Pluto saying, hey, you need to go deep and go within and figure out why this is happening. You know, why are you so triggered by this? Where you may be trying to subconsciously kind of overpower somebody else's opinion, or trying to sway their worldview or something like that. Or they may be trying to do that to you, you know, something like that could come up. So do just watch out for that. This also may be triggering like certain unfair uses of power or unjust situations, stuff like that. Now, Venus is then going to move into your 10th house on the 10th of the month, and your 10th house is Scorpio, right? And so basically, you're definitely going to start noticing themes coming up with your career, your public image, reputation, stuff like that, because then Venus is going to square Saturn in your sign. And so this is going to be very much a certain pressure on if you should participate in something that may be looked at as lower or less than in some way. It's going to be very big about your reputation and appearances, especially within your career and, you know, public image, authority figures, etc. And so yeah, I just feel like it's like, should I hold back, or should I reject something based off of what other people think? I think is going to be the big thing here that you may notice around that time. So also we have Mars moving into Libra on the 14th. Now, Mars moving into Libra in your 9th house is definitely going to bring up some confrontation, conflict, debates, and a large focus towards law, legality, social situations, social dynamics, philosophies, belief systems, worldviews, all of that. So also learning and higher education, so and foreign travel. So those are definitely big focuses that you'll see as well, coming up around that time. Now, let's see. On the 20th, Venus is going to oppose Uranus. And this is definitely going to be some kind of major breakthrough. The stuff that you were worried about in your career, I think is going to come back around here, and it's going to be like, you know what, fuck it, you know. And there's going to be some kind of major breakthrough where it's like, what's important, what do you value, and where do you need to break free from limiting limiting beliefs or limiting things in your life that are not allowing you to express yourself how you would like to. And so there could be, this could definitely be facing some fears in terms of career and in terms of roots, where you live, home life, stuff like that as well. And then on the 27th, we have Mercury retrograde in Libra, which is going to bring up a lot of the same themes of addressing internal fears and hidden subconscious habits versus belief systems and higher learning, higher education, your social life. So those are going to be big ones. I think you're getting a massive perception change, massive worldview change, massive perspective shift on certain situations. So those are some things that you would probably see come up astrologically. So let's get to your cards. So we have the dead end, right? So there's something in your life that may feel like a dead end in the month of September, or may feel like I don't know where to go, or I can't get past here. I'm not sure how to do it, because we also have fault line, and I feel like you're trying to go past a line, you're trying to push past a line, you're trying to continue to push some kind of boundary, which is what you do, Aquarius, right? But yeah, I kind of am getting, because the reason that I don't feel that great about those two cards is because we have will and power. And so I feel like when I see will and power together, it's kind of like, I kind of think of like forcing one's will onto someone, forcing someone. And that kind of weirds me out a little bit. So, but if you're not doing that, then I feel like cool, And then we also have hunger here. So I feel like there is like a need, or you're trying to fill some kind of void within you by going past certain boundaries that you have for yourself, right? Like I don't think this is necessarily like a certain boundary outside of you necessarily. I mean, it could involve that, but I think it's more so, where are you going past your own boundaries? Where are you going past your own values, your own morals, your own ethics, you know? Or where are you overlooking them, right? Where are you ignoring them? Where are you not acknowledging them? It could be a big thing too. And we also have the shapeshifter. So I feel here that you are, you know, to get to a new beginning, which we have the beginnings card, to get to a new beginning, I feel like it's going to be important for you to make changes to yourself, right? Like to actually change who you are. And I know that kind of just sounded really dramatic for some reason, but like, do the work on yourself. You know what I mean? Instead of just like, oh, I'm going to be this person one day and this person the next, or I'm going to just change the way I look and something like that, because we have time for a quantum leap, prepare for a makeover. So who you are is getting a drastic upgrade starting this month. New beginnings, you know, big new changes. And so we also have the call, honor the whisper of your soul. See, you are getting called to something higher here, but to do that, you have to learn lessons about yourself. And learning those lessons about yourself is going to change who you are as a person. Your views are going to change, what you value is going to change, what you want is going to change, your outlook is going to change, all of that. So let's go over your cards. So we have the Two of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups, and the Six of Swords here. So I feel like you're kind of going back and forth with a situation. This could be some financial stuff, but if not, it could be a job. It could be some kind of situation that you're kind of weighing out. You're kind of going back and forth with. I feel like you're leaning more towards moving away or getting away, but you're feeling rather stuck because there's some kind of fear here that deals with possibly feeling underneath someone, or feeling as though somebody else is going to control you or overpower you in some way. There's fears here about sharing, or even asking for help for some reason. And so I feel like you're kind of just stuck, you know, like with this Hangman here, you're kind of just stuck and you're kind of confused on which way to go, right? Like you want to take action, you want to take direction, but you're also very confused. You're also not really clear on how to go about that. And so you feel like you need to take action, you think you need to take action, but the action itself is unclear. Hopefully that makes sense. And then we have the Tower, which is beautiful in your case, because especially with this reading, because it breaks you out of that stuckness. It breaks you out of this Hangman. It breaks you out of this constant going back and forth, this constant feeling stuck in the middle, stagnant. You know, it breaks you out of that and allows you to see things differently, allows you to there may be certain sacrifices that come with that, but in the kind of the finale of it, right? Like the main point of it is it's breaking you out. It's a breakthrough, right? It's a breakthrough. And that breakthrough, that change, that massive change this month is going to help you see clearly. Okay, so that is what I'm getting for you guys, Aquarius. Definitely let me know down below if this resonated with you so far, and if not, feel free to come back throughout the month and keep an eye on it and see if it does. I would love to know down below how you felt and all of that. It really does help me out when you guys give your feedback down below, and it helps me out because I like seeing it. And yeah, so anyways, if you would like to check out more from me, just click the description below. And thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in my other videos. Bye. What's up, Pisces? Welcome to your September 2021 tarot and astrology reading. Let's go ahead and get into it. So Pisces, you have a lot going on in relationships and your connections with other people in the month of September. There is a massive spotlight being shined on your commitments and also where you put your time and energy. And there's also there's going to be some massive themes of really bringing things out into the open, like mediating, seeing another side to things, negotiating. Some of you guys could even be dealing with certain legal contracts. Some of you guys could be dealing with financial contracts, financial legalities, something along those lines. But it definitely looks like there is a new weighing out going on in your financial sector with your money, and also with your time and energy, also with worth. You know, what is worth your time and energy and what isn't? That is going to be a big one. What is sucking your energy from you? What is taking your energy from you? And what isn't? Where can you apply your energy? Where can you, you know, you're really trying to balance out these scales, right? You're really trying to stand in your truth, to stay in your truth. And there are going to be, I feel, some things that come back around in the month of September and even the month of October, where things that maybe you've been waiting on or things that have needed to come back to you, where you've put time, effort, and energy into something, or where maybe you were done dirty in some way, karma is on your side, I believe, in the month of September and going into October, even if at first it doesn't seem like it. And so this month is asking you to be very, very resilient. These next couple months, in fact, are asking you to be very, very resilient. And they are also asking you to heal some things that need to be healed, especially within your mind, and especially when it comes to other people. Right? Those grudges or those resentments, those the ill will that you've been holding on to for other people needs to be detoxified. It needs to be purged. It needs to come out of your system, because this month, Pisces, you are going through a massive cleansing of your system. All of the junk that you've been holding on to that's been slowing you down, that has been causing a lot of confusion or causing a lot of disputes, causing a lot of grudges or resentments or anger or conflict with other people. All of that needs to really be purged in order for you to heal, in order for you to see things in a new light, in order for you to go through some kind of cleanse, and where you literally become the mystic, right? You guys have the card, the mystic, for the month of September. And this really tells me, Pisces, that you're going through this cleanse, you're going through this purge, you're cleaning out all this junk, you're cleaning out all this shit that you don't need, all of this shit that you've been holding on to. It needs to be let go of, because you have a massive role to play in the next couple months, I believe, when it comes to helping people through times of complexity, through times of crisis, through some kind of turbulent situations. And you need to be set free in order to do that. You need to stop holding on to things that don't matter anymore, right? Like if it's not a part of your future, let it the fuck go, right? Like, you don't need to play karma. Karma will do its job. Trust in it, right? And sometimes karma may not look exactly how you think it should, but trust me, it knows what it's doing. And as long as you can focus on building your own foundation of being the ruler of your own empire, of focusing on what you can control and what is within your control, then you become more receptive and you clear out all the garbage, you clear out all the shit, you become more receptive, and through that reception, you are called and attracted to what you need to be, right? And so I feel that there is a lot of passion for certain belief systems, a certain new outlook or a way of looking at things. And that could be part of what you're being called to do. That could be part of where you're feeling you need to put this newfound energy that's come from the clearing out of the old, if that makes sense. And you will be attracted, because we have attraction and we have the call. Honor the whispers of your soul. And so I definitely feel this month, Pisces, is a month for you where you are being called to do something. For some of you, I'm kind of getting like healer vibes here, where you step in and you're able to forgive, you're able to move on, and you're able to help others through really turbulent situations or through turbulent time periods. So let's go ahead and see what else we get for you. And also we have the village here, right? We have the village here, which really tells me that we have the mystic and the village, which really tells me once again that I think your energy and your efforts are going to be going towards helping others in times of need, helping them to see a different side of things, helping them balance things out to come into alignment, helping to kind of add some kind of stability and nurturing to their lives, right? And that may not be for all of you, that just may be for some of you, but September is a very social month. It's like really very much about other people, Pisces, and it's also very much about money, things that you owe or things that are owed to you. And so that's why I'm bringing this up, because it's that way astrologically for you. And I think that you are looking towards new possibilities for yourself, new opportunities for yourself, new business opportunities for yourself, new collaborations. And like I've been saying, to do that, you have to let the old go, right? You could be going through a massive transformation or a massive change of something that you've been working on, something that you have been putting a lot of work into. But either way, and also financial situations, once again, could be changing for you. There's new avenues opening up, but to do that, you have to get rid of the old. So let's talk about what's going on astrologically. So the first week or so of September, we have quite a few things going on. This could be an extreme motivation to do something new, or an extreme feeling of compassion towards people, Pisces. This could also be breaking out of some kind of delusion or spell that you've been under regarding a certain person or relationship or commitment within your life. This could also be some kind of calling to do something more, to do something higher, to help people, possibly to sacrifice something to help other people as well. And then we also have Mercury going into shadow on the 6th, the same day that we have the new moon and Virgo in your 7th house. And Mercury moving into shadow is basically like, it's going to come back here later on, like a month from now. So you really want to pay attention when it goes into shadow, because whatever comes up during that time frame is going to come back around. And so you're definitely going to want to pay attention to that. Anything that comes up is going to come back. Not a great time for making really big new decisions, because they will come back around. So just keep that in mind. And then we also have Venus squaring Pluto around that same time as well. And Venus is going to be in your 8th, squaring Pluto in your 11th. And so this could definitely be a time of transition regarding certain friendships, networking, certain financial situations regarding other people. There could definitely be some deep and complex stuff coming up when it comes to certain social situations in your life around that time. Now, on top of that, on the 14th, we have Mars moving through the sign of Libra, Mars moving into the sign of Libra, and out of your 7th house. So your 7th house, where ruling relationships, where Mars has been for like the last over a month now, where you've been having all of this Mars, masculine, assertive, confrontational, inconsiderate, direct energy, extreme energy going on in your relationship sector, or maybe your partner has been extremely confrontational or more bitchier than usual, or, you know, just more, you know, direct or inconsiderate than usual, or maybe have been going through a lot of changes, or maybe that's been you regarding your relationships, right? Mars is finally going to move into your 8th house of other people's money, money that's owed to you, money that you owe other people. This 8th house is getting a lot of action this month, starting this month. So this could be when you really start seeing from the 14th onward, where you really start seeing pretty big changes regarding those things, you know, financially, and anything that needs to be addressed, anything that you've been kind of avoiding or keeping down that needs to come up, or that needs to change regarding relationships, other people, money, etc. So definitely watch for those things to come up around that time. And then around the 20th, we have a full moon in your sign, which is really kind of getting back to you and reflecting on how far you've come since the new moon in your sign around your birthday earlier this year. And really getting back to you again and feeling like you again, and kind of reflecting on things. But on that same day, we have a Venus-Uranus opposition in your 3rd and 9th house. So this is definitely going to bring up new beliefs, new viewpoints, doing something that is, you know, not very, doing something that may be a little bit rebellious, innovative, shocking, random, even getting some kind of news that's like random, or that you weren't expecting. You could be feeling a sense of like massive liberation around that time as well, to express yourself in a certain way, or express some belief or viewpoint or opinion in a certain way. So definitely watch out for that around the 20th, even leading up to the 20th. And then on the 27th, we have the Mercury retrograde finally in Libra. That's when it actually goes retrograde, and it's going to be squaring Pluto in your 11th house. So all of the stuff I was talking about earlier regarding friends and deep complex issues and money and weighing out what you feel is fair and not fair is going to come back up massively. There will be some massive changes probably in your friend circle, in your social circle, in your networking circle, the groups or the, you know, social events or circles that you belong to, certain long-term aspirations that you've had for yourself, certain business connections that you may have had for yourself. There will just be massive shifts happening there. So definitely keep an eye out for that towards the end of the month, but you're going to start seeing remnants throughout the beginning of the month as well. So hopefully that resonated, Pisces, or ends up resonating. Definitely give me your feedback down below. As always, I love to hear about it and hear what you guys have to say. It really also helps my video out when you comment down below, so I would really appreciate that. If you would like a more specific or personalized reading, just see my description below. I also have a Patreon where I do more uncensored readings and talk about the astrology of what's going on in the world each week and what we can possibly expect because of that. So definitely join that if you're interested. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys in my other videos. Bye. What's up, Aries? Welcome to your September 2021 tarot and astrology reading. I hope you guys are doing good. Let's get into it. So Aries, September is a big fucking month for you guys, man. You got a shit ton of stuff moving into your opposite sign of Libra. What the fuck does that mean? Relationships out the yin yang, right? It is duality, polarity, devil's advocate type vibes, you know, being considerate versus being inconsiderate. What do other people want versus what do you want? You know, what does your partner want versus what do you want? You know what I mean? Your commitments also in relationships, you know, keeping the balance and harmony between relationships, right? And there is a lot going on, right? Your ruling planet Mars is moving into your opposite sign as well. So it's like even more so, you're going to be feeling this this Libran relationship kind of energy, and it is definitely going to be about reflecting on your long-term relationships and commitments over the next couple months. And I feel this is a big deal for you. Why? Because it's not only reflecting on your long-term relationships and your commitments, but also it's reflecting on you and reflecting on, as I say that, the Emperor falls out, right? It's also reflecting on the future. What do you want out of these relationships, right? And it's reflecting on where you're going in these relationships, where you're going with these commitments. What kind of life do you want for yourself going forward? Yes, there's a lot of unknown, right? There is a lot of unknown. There is a lot that can't necessarily be seen right now. And I think that that is somewhat worrisome for you. I think that you're holding off on certain things because of that reason. I think that there is a part of you that is willing to commit to something for the long haul, whether it's a relationship, a goal, a career opportunity, something to do with a partner or another person, but there is also a lot of unexpected basically happening, and you're not really sure how to integrate the two. Especially by the end of September, you are really going to notice some big changes in what you want for your future versus your relationships. I mean, it's going to be massive, Aries. This is a massive month, like I said before. You know, can you really commit Queen of Pentacles, Seven of Swords to someone, right? Or is that commitment going to be stable? It's almost like you feel like you're taking a gamble here, and I get it, right? Like, it feels like there's just a massive redirecting. And I don't want to say like, oh, you're going to go through a breakup or anything like that. It's going to be different for different ones of you, and it really depends on how this is hitting your chart, you know. But I will say that certain milestones, certain goals that maybe you once had are getting redirected. Could be in the form of a relationship. It could just be in the form of a career or a business partner, a certain contact, something like that, because we have dream redirection, right? Redream this situation. There's a situation in your life that is getting a hold up. You know, you're going through that hold up moment, like I talked about in the September astrology video for the collective. Talked about everything that was going to happen in September, and that hold up moment when Mercury goes retrograde, and it's kind of going to be like, oh wait, hold on. There's more coming out that I did not realize, or the way that I'm thinking about this has completely changed or needs to change. And so that is happening in terms of your future, your career, your reputation, your goals, your legacy, what you want to build, the things that you want for your life. You know, Pluto in the 10th house squaring this Mercury retrograde. We also have the unknown is your friend. Lean in to embrace what's next. And so I get that it's unknown. We also have the unexpected, which really goes with that unknown. And so it's kind of trying to find peace amidst the chaos, right? We have the card peace. And I feel that when you can be at peace with the unknown is no longer the issue, right? When you can learn to accept that basically everything is unknown, right? Like it's unknown, and that's okay. Like, you're no longer fighting the unknown. You're no longer like scared of the unknown, because really you're not scared of the unknown. You're scared of what you think the unknown is going to be. And that's usually something from the past, right? You're scared that something from the past is going to come back around, and that's going to be the unknown. You know what I mean? But when you can reconcile with that past, when you can reconcile with that unknown, then you can finally move forward, right? And another thing that I see here, Aries, we have the Destroyer and we have the Ring. And so I feel this month you want to be careful that you're not self-sabotaging a really good commitment, You know what I mean? For some of you, yeah, maybe it is something that's not good for you. Maybe it is something you need to move on from. Maybe it's something that you're just not, your heart's not in it anymore, and that's fine. You know, but for others of you, don't destroy something out of fear just because because you're scared of the unknown, right? You're scared of something coming back from the past, and so you're like, you know, I'm gonna put this to rest before it can affect me, basically. Before this what if or this possibility has a chance to even happen, I'm gonna go ahead and destroy it myself, right? Like, you definitely don't want to do that. Because that could definitely have backlash, right? You want to be upfront and authentic about things. And if you're thinking that way, or if you end up being scared about something, you need to trust within yourself, right? Trust within your own resilience, trust within your own bravery and self-confidence, you know, your own light within yourself to move through it and not be super scared of it. You know what I mean? Trust within your ability to heal and not, you know, just worry about what it would do to you. You know what I mean? Because I do believe that you are going to have some massive insights this month, some massive clarity, some massive realizations in the next 2 months about certain fears that you have regarding love, regarding pleasure, regarding relationships, regarding creating a life that you want, right? Those fears are going to come up, and it's time for you to break through. It's time for you to heal them and move on from them and not keep allowing them to overpower you, not keep running from them. Because honestly, the hard thing to do and the brave thing to do is to work through them rather than continue to deny them, continue to avoid them, continue to lie to yourself about them, and continue to cut them off for no good reason, right? Like, where are you holding your own self back, basically, right? And where are you not allowing a good thing into your life because of fear of the good thing, right? And like I said, this isn't going to relate to all of you, but some of you, it may be not for you, and that's okay too. You know what I mean? Some of you this may be a month where you're finally seeing that maybe you've compromised too much. Maybe you can't compromise anymore. Maybe it is time for you to move on. Maybe it is time for you to do your own thing. Whatever the case may be, but I just want to make sure you're not doing it out of self-sabotage, right? I think that you should question that too if you think that you are, or if that relates to you. So yeah, it just seems like a lot of you guys could be turning your back on a good thing, right? Turning your back on love, or turning your back on anything that makes you feel nurtured. Empress again, and the Ten of Swords. Because of past abandonment issues, past traumatic issues, possibly for some of you guys regarding a mother or just love in general in the past, right? But it's time to work on that, boo. It's time to work on it. The unknown is your friend, and when you can reconcile that, when you can integrate that, you move through it and not constantly run from it and end up throwing the baby out with the bathwater. You know what I mean? So just keep that in mind. And for some of you, it could be, you know, getting rid of a commitment that just did not feel right for you. And that's okay too, like I was saying. And even though it may be scary or unknown or unexpected, I think that there's a sense of peace that is able to be found in that. And so yeah, that is what I'm seeing in the cards for you guys, Aries. Let's move on to your astrology. So, the very beginning of the month, there definitely is some confusion regarding escapism, sacrifice, certain habits that maybe you haven't been seeing clearly, breaking free of certain habits. Maybe you've been trying to get things done, but at the same time, you just want to go on vacation, or you want to escape, or you want to, you know, do something that really gets you out of the boring day-to-day mundane stuff. You know, the everyday details, the everyday struggles, the everyday issues. You're wanting to just let loose and relax, you know what I mean? But you have certain responsibilities or certain things continually coming up that need your attention. And there could be kind of like a push-pull in that, where you're feeling you have to sacrifice some things to get these things done, to do these things. But at the same time, it's motivating you to do these things so you can maybe have those experiences that you actually want to have, you know? And so that could be a good thing. You could also be really doing something or working towards some kind of thing where you're helping others, you're being of service to others, you know, something along those lines. So that could also be something that you see come up in the beginning of the month. Now, we also have Mercury going into shadow in the beginning of the month, meaning that all these things that come up the first few weeks of the month are going to come back around once Mercury goes retrograde at the end of the month and next month. So definitely be paying attention to themes that come up these next few weeks, because they're going to come back around in your life, especially regarding your 7th house of relationships, others, commitments, balance, harmony, peacemaking, fairness, you know, mirroring, you know, also as well, where maybe there are certain things that are, you know, mirroring something going on with you, certain people in your life that are mirroring certain things going on with you that you're not seeing. That could also be something else that you see coming up. Now, we also have Venus square Pluto on the 6th, and this is definitely going to be an intense time. That new moon, where you are feeling maybe some challenges between relationships and your future and long-term goals. That's kind of going to be the first hit of it, where you're going to really start feeling that energy, what you desire or what your partner desires or what other people desire, versus certain power dynamics, certain authority figures, certain, you know, future goals, things that you want to do out in the world. So other than that, we have Mars moving into your ruling planet, Mars moving into the sign of Libra in your 7th house as well. And this is definitely going to be interesting. Okay, so your ruling planet Mars does not like to be in Libra. It's your opposite sign. Aries is very kind of self-focused, and not that that's a bad thing, you know, at all. It's just very much like, this is what I'm going to do. I don't care what you think about it. And Libra is more like, let's see what everybody else thinks about it, and let's see what everybody else wants to do, you know? And so, and I'm just talking about Aries as a sign, not just Aries in general. Like, if you're an Aries sun or whatever, I'm not just saying that in general. I'm just saying Aries as a sign, right? You have other things in your chart that, you know, bring out other things. So anyways, but this could bring up some confrontation in relationships, okay? Some conflict. Some, you know, identity stuff with relationships. Also, a certain like taking more action, or your partner taking more action in some ways for peace, fairness, justice. Your partner could be a little bit more motivated, direct, you know, getting shit done, whereas or you could be a little bit more motivated, direct about your relationship. There could be a lot of changes in your relationship. Your partner could be a little bit more agitated, or, you know, kind of, there could be some arguments that happen for some. So you just want to watch out for those things. There could be an edginess regarding relationships the next couple months. And then also Venus is going to square Saturn. Venus in Scorpio is going to square Saturn in Aquarius around mid-month as well. And Scorpio is that 8th house sector for you regarding pretty big life changes, finances, other people's money that you share, and resources that you share with other people, you know, things that you owe to other people and things that other people owe to you. And yeah, so Venus square Saturn here, with Saturn being in your 11th, there could be some things that happen with friends or social situations that you're a part of where maybe you're trying to, maybe, I don't know, like maybe a friend needs to borrow some money, or you know, you need to borrow some money, but you can't. You know, there could be a mixture of financial situations or complex emotional situations and emotional transactions regarding friends and networking, groups of people. Also aspirations, things that you want to do, things that you desire but feeling somehow set back or something like that. So that's something else you could notice. And then we also have Venus opposite Uranus on the 20th, which is also going to be pretty crazy. Make sure you guys are watching the new and full moon videos that I post as well on top of these, because I'm going to talk more into detail about your horoscopes for those time periods in there. But for now, Venus opposite Uranus is definitely going to bring up some random or kind of shocking new developments or liberating new developments when it comes to your financial life, basically, and resources. It's kind of like, this is what I want to do, or I want to change something, or I want to liberate myself from this debt, or from you know, this money situation in some way, shape, or form. And then finally on the 27th is when Mercury goes retrograde, squaring Pluto in your 10th house from your 7th house. So this is really when that massive change starts beginning towards the end of the month, where Mercury is going to retrograde. This is going to be a massive change and reflection period on your relationships, what you want out of life, power dynamics in relationships, career situations and how that impacts your relationship. Also, you know, your legacy and your goals for your future, and massive changes there, you know. So definitely let me know, Aries, down below if you see any of these themes happening in September. You can come back and watch this again as many times as you want and let me know as well. And also check the description below for personal readings, and also my Patreon, where I do tons of exclusive content over there. And yeah, I will see you guys in my other videos. Bye. Hello, Taurus, and welcome to your September 2021 tarot and astrology reading. Let's go ahead and get into it, Taurus. So, Taurus, this is a month where you are like really towing a fine line between self and other. And not only between self and other, but between how other people really influence your shit, or really cause you to possibly get out of balance, where others can really deplete you or cause certain challenges for you, and where you are not in harmony when it comes to your health and your vitality. Sun has been coming up a lot in the readings for September, where you have imbalances within your vitality, within your health, within your energy, where you have energetic imbalances, where you have been giving or not giving, where you need to be considerate and where you need to be more considerate of you, where you need to have boundaries and say enough is enough, and when you need to allow yourself to overstep those boundaries. There are certain instances, and each one is different, and it's really up for you to find those lessons in the month of September. At least starting in the month of September, the lessons will carry on into October as well. Where have you been kind of naively not questioning things? Where have you been naively conditioned to think a certain way, or act a certain way, or behave a certain way? Where do you need to really challenge your belief systems this month, especially with Pluto in your 9th, making aspects to your 6th and your 7th. There are commitments and challenges and belief systems, conditionings that you've had for some time, but that maybe it's time to get a fresh set of eyes on. Maybe it's time to see where these belief systems that are possibly driven from fear, or possibly not really even your own. Don't believe everything that you see or hear this month, Taurus. This is not a month that you have to put up with shit because you believe it's your service or it's your civic duty or it's your problem, because really it's not. And you have to find that fine line between worrying about yourself, worrying about self-care, and worrying about others. Queen of Cups. You have to find that line. And I think you'll find it probably rather quickly moving into September. You'll find where you need to heal certain things, where certain things no longer are working for you, where you actually have the tools to do certain things yourself, where you have the resources, where you need to get back to the basics, pretty much, right? Where do you need to get back to the basics of, okay, I've been following this way of thinking, this outlook, this perspective, this philosophy, this belief system, because I can tell you now, a lot of your issues are coming from the way that you're perceiving them, from the way that you're thinking about them. 6 of Swords, 4 of Cups. The way that you're thinking about certain things are causing you to not see what's right in front of your face. The way that you're thinking about or been conditioned to believe, because like, let's say for some of you, this is about a relationship, right? This is just hypothetical, right? And you in this relationship are having problems because you're trying everything, or you're being there for the person, you're committed, and you are not really getting what you wanted out of the relationship for whatever reason. You know, something's not working out, whether it's on the other side or whether it's on your side. Instead of looking external to you to say, okay, what's the problem outside of me, right? Go inward and say, where is my belief about this, the problem, right? Maybe I don't need to act a certain way. Maybe like these morals or these ethics that I've been operating under are not entirely my own. Like maybe I was raised that way, or, you know, my family's religious beliefs taught me to be that way. Where are you so busy worried about filling the cups of others that you're not filling your own, basically, right? 9 of Cups reversed. Wheel of Fortune. It's like you wouldn't know a wish come true or a miracle if it hit you in the face right now. Like, no offense. I know that sounds really mean. I didn't realize how mean that sounded until I said it. And I don't mean that in a mean way, I promise. But like, it's like fulfillment is not coming easy right now. And you keep thinking that it has something to do with how you're it has something to do with this other person or this job or these responsibilities or these challenges or these other people or this situation or what's going on in the world or whatever, when really the issue is your belief systems, the way in which the foundation for which you are perceiving everything to be happening, the foundation that is driving you to take the actions that you're taking, to commit to whatever this is you're committing to, and the conditioning behind that. There's some kind of way that you've been conditioned to believe that is operating that is a big part of how you're operating and how you're taking this situation, how you're handling the situation, what you're doing about the situation, which is not allowing you to move forward. So I feel what's going to happen is, Taurus, this month, something's going to kind of sneak up on you in the back, like, and I say that metaphorically, but something is going to come back and kind of like rebalance you out. We have the return here. This is own your mastery, and we'll get to that part in a minute, but we have the return and this wheel of fortune, I believe, are connected, right? It's like you've been maybe giving too much or giving your power away to a certain situation, because we have a lot of stuff here that's kind of like standing in your own power, getting back into peace and harmony with yourself, and really addressing where you are off balance, really addressing where you have certain deficiencies in situations, whether with your health, your energy, your vitality, what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, your routines. You know, where are you really not in the groove, you know? And so we also have from fear to fuel, stand still and own your power. We also have the path here and peace. So I feel like this month is taking you on a journey to find peace and to address certain challenges and issues that have been all out of whack, all out of balance. And I feel like it has something to do with your perspectives, your belief systems, and for some of you, it could be that you're not walking the talk, that you have these big visions or these belief systems or whatever, but you're not actually implementing them, right? And so you're out of balance because of that as well. We also have the temple and the empty room. And so for me, what I think this is saying is it's time for you to get some space. It's time for you to clear out this room, to allow it to be empty and allow your own ideas and your own views on the world to fill it, rather than other people filling it for you. To reconnect with yourself and your own spirituality, your own views on the world, and to reconnect to the creator. Whether that be the creator within you or the divine creator, whatever you believe in, right? But either way, it's reconnecting to that sense of power and purpose within yourself that you've gotten so far away from. And so I feel like, you know, this is a month where you could go really hard down some rabbit holes, where you could find yourself feeling powerless over certain things, where for some of you, it could be with Libra, Capricorn, you could find yourself in some power dynamics or some contracts or legal situations for some of you, if you're dealing with that. But I really see here that it is really time to find that line, to find your boundaries, to address the things that need to be addressed, to come back into harmony, to come back into balance, to address anything that's keeping you lacking, that's keeping you deficient and doing what you need to do or getting what you want. And I think those are going to be the big themes. And I also, you know, you have Venus, your ruling planet, moving into your 7th. So relationships are also going to be a big theme this month, as we have Mercury going retrograde in Libra, which Venus also rules, which is your 6th. So where are there certain deficiencies within your relationships? Where are there certain issues within the health of your relationships? Right? Like, are you in unhealthy relationships? Is there not a balance within the relationship? Are you guys not communicating? Are you guys, are there certain challenges that need to be addressed? Are you guys not seeing each other's sides? Are you allowing things from the past to burden you? What are your burdens and what needs to be addressed? And how can you express that? How can you move through that? How can you change that? How can you do something about that, right? And so we also have Mars moving into your 6th house on the 14th this month. And that even more so is definitely going to be bringing up a lot when it comes to any kind of physical issues going on, any kind of struggles or work that needs to be done, any kind of responsibilities. It's doing the unglamorous stuff that you don't want to do, doing the stuff that you're not going to like get a lot of credit for, but it needs to be done. You know what I mean? It's like, whether it's taking care of yourself or taking care of other responsibilities that inadvertently take care of you, either way, it is maintaining something. What needs maintaining that's been being put off. So other than that, around, well, on the 27th is when Mercury goes retrograde, and that is going retrograde in your 6th house. So a lot of 6th house stuff, you know, a lot of stuff coming up where you're reflecting and where it's time to do things differently. It's time to backtrack. It's time to find a different route. It's time to switch it up. It's time to look at different sides, you know, and so you definitely want to watch out for that in the month of September. So that is basically what I'm seeing for you guys, Taurus, for the month of September. Definitely let me know down below if this ended up resonating. I would love to know. If you would like to check out my website, my personal readings, my Patreon, my Instagram, all of that is linked below. And I will see you guys in my other videos this month. Bye. What's up, Gemini? So let's get into your September 2021 tarot and astrology horoscope. So Gemini, for you guys, September is a month where you've been going through a lot of intense family and home life stuff, right? Mars has been in your 4th, so that nothing's just been right? It's like every little thing, there's always some kind of thing that's been going on. Every little thing is like on your last nerve. It's like nothing is quite how you want it to be in your home and family life recently. And so that intensity kind of continues for the first couple weeks of September. But then Mars will finally move into your 5th house of Libra, and your 5th house deals with creation. And for that reason, it deals with anything that brings you joy, creativity, anything that you do for fun, love, romance, sex, and also children. And so it's a very fertile place and a very fertile time. Because not only will you have Mars there, but you'll have Mercury there. And Mercury is going retrograde at the end of the month. So the first couple weeks of the month are going to be very important for you to pay attention to, because whatever comes up, those first couple weeks are going to come back around. You could also see themes coming up after the 10th to do with your day-to-day responsibilities, your day-to-day work, anything that is really kind of any of the unglamorous work that's been needing to be done but just hasn't been done quite yet. So needless to say, September is an interesting month. It is really breaking you out of some kind of pattern or some kind of cycle where you have continuously felt like you're not sure what to do on a situation. There's like a lot of indecisiveness. It's like there's something that you want to take action on, but you're not quite sure how to do it, or there's something that you desire, but you're not quite sure how to go about it. You may be considering other people's opinions on something a little bit too much, or you may be just really on the fence about what it is that you want, what it is that you want to fulfill you, whether that's love, romance, a creative project, or a creative hobby. And there may be a lot of reflection on that. And once Mars moves into Libra, I do feel like things are going to get a little bit better, but with Mercury retrograde, there's still going to be that reflection period. And I also feel like, Gemini, you are going through massive ancestral stuff where you are really seeing how your parents are playing out through you. In the month of September, there's almost like mirrors in the month of September with all of this Libra energy, where you really start to see your parents' side of things, or you really start to see your ancestral roots playing out in your own life. And there's also a massive possibility for you to want to bring some fun or play or connection back into your home and family life, or back into your relationship. Or for some of you that are single, you may be called to start dating again, or meeting someone new, or you may meet someone new for some of you with the Ace of Cups and Two of Cups there. But with that Mercury retrograde, it is not the best time for that unless you have Mercury retrograde in your chart, because Mercury is your ruling planet. So yeah, there just may be, if you meet someone, there may be some stuff that comes out later, or it may not entirely be what you thought it was. So you do just want to watch out for that. The Mercury retrograde in your 5th, though, could also have you really reflecting on what it is you love, what it is that you want in somebody else, what it is that you feel you're worth, what it is that you are attracted to. And also, it could have you really reflecting on past relationships and past situations as well. And so, yeah, there's a lot of confusion here, Gemini. I mean, we have the Knight of Rods followed by all of this shit, 2 of Pentacles, 7 of Cups, 2 of Swords. There is a lot of confusion about something, a lot of weighing out the pros and cons, or just a lot of negotiating or mediating over something that's not even quite clear yet. It's like, for some of you, it could just be a lot of options and you're not really sure which one to go with. But I feel like for some of you, this could be a financial situation as well, and you could see some finances or things that are owed coming up in the mix of this month, as well as Pluto will be making a lot of aspects to the transits that we have this month. I also feel like there may be, so first off, for the Oracle cards, we have the Mother, which really goes into the family stuff that I was saying as well, and the creative and creation stuff. If you have children, you may also see this could be a time where you are teaching your children another side, or where you are getting another perspective on your children in the month of September. So that could be another thing. But we also have the Storm, and we also have the Tower and the Devil reversed. And so what I see here, Gemini, is there may be a big breakthrough this month, and it may come through an unexpected event or something that's out of your control. But that breakthrough is showing you where something was no longer sturdy or stable, where something needed to fall or something needed to happen. Where lightning needed to hit in order for you to break out of some kind of habit or pattern that you've been in that has not been doing you any favors for a while. Okay, where you can finally leave some kind of toxic thing behind, or where you can finally, move on from something that you felt stuck in for a while. And a lot of it could be this. You know what I mean? It's like maybe you haven't been seeing clearly, and you get breaking out of some kind of spell and you start seeing things for what they really are. But either way, there's definitely a liberation coming in that form. It may not feel like that at some points throughout September, because we have celebrate the sacred gap, give thanks for buffer time. So if you're not feeling that way yet, then be appreciative of it right now, and just prepare that some of you may have some things come up in the month of September that shake you into a new reality, but that ultimately are for something better for you. Okay, so we also have dream redirection. You know, whatever this is that you've been really going back and forth on, or whatever this is that you're going to be reflecting on when it comes to what you desire, when it comes to what you want, when it comes to what you love, is definitely going through a redirecting period, so you can see something more clearly, so you can see the side that you've been missing, right? So you can get the answer that you've been missing, or so even somebody else may help you see a different side. We also have, what would your higher self do? You are divinity in blue jeans. And so it's also just remembering that you're a badass, basically, right? Like that at the end of the day, you're in the world but not of the world. That yes, you're human, but you're also kind of not at the same time. And that you're going to be okay. You know what I mean? It's going to be okay. And I mean, I wouldn't say this month is going to be like tragic, right? That's not what I'm saying at all. So hopefully it's not coming off that way. I just think there's going to be some definite changes that maybe you didn't expect at first, but that end up having an outcome that you couldn't have foreseen coming, that end up helping you. You know what I mean? And so that's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Other signs I think are going to have it a little bit. There's some other signs that may have it a little bit more intense than you. So I don't want you to think that you have it like the worst or anything, because that's not what I'm saying at all. But I just think that there's going to be some changes in how you are approaching something and what you love and how to support that financially, and where you've been feeling out of place, or where you've been feeling you're lacking in a certain area of life, where you're owed something, or where you owe something, and to make that right, you know? So we also have release. And so I think that's another big one for this month, Gemini. It's like you're finally releasing stuff that needs to be released in order for you to move forward. You're finally allowing things to be purged so you can move forward. You're finally letting go of certain things. Then we also have action. So, and that's another thing. I feel like you're going to definitely be wanting to take action on something, but it may be coming from a confused or unknown place. So keep that in mind. Your intentions may not be quite clear, or you may not be quite clear on what you're taking action on in the month of September, or at least somewhat throughout September. So keep that in mind as well. We also have self-reflection, so big month, and I think this really, I'm kind of getting this is going back to the family vibes and the vibes of really seeing how your roots, your foundation, your family are almost like mirroring you and your life, and almost reflecting on mirror images. There's going to be a lot of things happening in September and October where it may seem like something's happening external to you or outside of you, but it's actually mirroring something within you or mirroring you. So I think that's going to be a big one as well. And I think it's going to help you really reflect on what it is you want, who it is you are. And yeah, so that is what I am seeing for the month for you, Gemini, in regards to your tarot. And astrology. I think we basically went over everything. I'm going to talk more about some other aspects that are happening in the new and full moon video, so make sure you're subscribed so you can get notified when those come out, because there are other aspects that are happening that are more specific, that are happening around those new and full moons, and so it just makes more sense to talk more about that then. Your ruling planet Mercury is going retrograde though on the 27th, squaring Pluto in your 8th house of, you know, death and transformation. Doesn't necessarily mean someone's going to die or anything. It just means that there are some major changes. You know, there are some major changes that where you're getting rebalanced. You are getting, there's a rebalancing of scales that needs to happen because there's been something in your life regarding finances or where you are lacking or deficient in something. And that has been really challenging your love, romance, children, creativity, joy department. And so, yeah, this is not a good month for playing like games of chance or anything like that. You definitely don't want to be doing something like that this month. You definitely want to be taking it easy and rebalancing the scales, finding the peace, finding your peace. And, you know, possibly even facing the truth and cutting out any ties that are holding you back from really enjoying things. So that is what I have for you, Gemini. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you could do me a favor and comment down below, let me know if this reading relates to you. I would really love to know, and it helps my video out a lot. If you would like to get a more personalized reading, see my description below. Also, if you would like to follow me on Instagram, I post a lot on the daily over there, and I'm a little bit more unfiltered over there, as well as on my Patreon. You can check all that out in the description below. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in my other videos. Bye. What's up, Cancer? Welcome back to the channel, and let's get into your tarot and astrology horoscope for September 2021. So wow, September is a pretty big month for you guys, Cancer. I know you guys have probably been feeling like you're ready to chop someone's head off with all this Virgo energy in your third house, like busy. You know what I mean? Running errands, going to appointments, doing this, doing that, stuff going on in your community, stuff going on in your neighborhood, stuff going on with friends, family, relatives. You know, it's probably just felt like a lot, you know? Yeah, I get it, you know, or you've just had things going on a day-to-day basis that you've been really trying to keep up with, or you've been really trying to get done, but it just seems like it's never fucking good enough or perfect. Yeah, Virgo third house. So anyways, but with Mercury now in Libra, that may give you a little bit more harmony. You may be feeling a little bit easier to it's a little bit easier to calm the waters, to make peace, to compromise, to work issues out a little bit smoother, rather than, you know, it being so nitpicky or just so critical, everything being so extreme and critical. So anyways, other than that, we have a lot of Libra energy going on this month. And so I feel that this month of September, especially if you're a Cancer rising, is a big deal because Libra is your fourth house, and the fourth house is a big deal. You are dealing with the foundation of your life here. You know, you are dealing with your past, your family, your parents, your home, your living situation, you know, real estate, property. You are dealing with your personal relationships, your personal life. And if all of that isn't in place, how can you do anything else? You know what I mean? If your foundation isn't solid, isn't stable, how can you do anything else that you want to do, right? And so you're going to be doing a lot of reflecting and a lot of home and family stuff in the month of September, and then also in the month of October. You are going to be reflecting on your past, your childhood, your roots, why you are the person that you are, how you got to where you are. There may be a lot of family stuff that comes up for you to address, for you to move through. There may be a lot of cycles closing, a lot of familiarity, a lot of nostalgia, a lot of patterns that are kind of folding in on themselves, because we start off with the Fool and the World, which are pretty big cards to start off with, right? You are almost seeing things from when you were a child. You are realizing how your childhood made you into the person you are today. You are possibly even connecting to the inner child with Venus in your fifth house. And some of that may be connecting with some darkness, right? With Venus in your fifth house in Scorpio, connecting with your deep, dark desires. We have the card, the Orphan. Now, obviously, this doesn't have to be literal. Not all of you are going to be orphans, but where do you need to connect with the part of yourself, that the part of your inner child that feels lost, confused, neglected, hopeless, not good enough? You know, is there a part of you that is feeling lonely, misunderstood, like you don't have the connections that you need in your life for whatever reason? You know, and you're going to really be looking at these energies. Two of Pentacles, Six of Cups. You're going to be really looking at the deep connections that you have with people. You're going to be really reminiscing on the past and going back and forth with how to reconcile something from the past. We also have the Two of Cups. This is definitely a month of really deep and personal connections, Cancer, related to your past and to your present. And this may be a time where you are closing massive cycles that you haven't understood until now, okay? Where you are really seeing how you needed to go through those situations, those experiences, those cycles, to understand what you know now and to see what you know now, to do what you're doing now, you know, to live your life the way that you want to live it. Queen of Rods, right? To be able to empower yourself and be there for yourself in a way that maybe you didn't have, right? Queen of Swords now. That maybe you didn't quite have growing up in some form or another, you know, maybe even if you had a good family and whatever, maybe there was some kind of traumatic situation that needs to be addressed still. Three of Swords. This is also a time, Cancer, I believe, with Venus in your 5th house, where romance and love will definitely be on the mind, connection with others, creativity, but in a place that is very deep and in a place that is a little bit more taboo. We have Justice coming out after the Three of Swords. So this is definitely a time of karma, okay? Where this is reconciling your own karma. This is reconciling and integrating your own pain, your own betrayals, the pain that you've been through, whether as a child or now as an adult, whatever it may be, okay? This is a time where you are flipping the script, where you are saying enough is enough. Something has to be done about this, and I can't keep putting the blame on other people. I have to take the power back into my own hands. I have to do something about it myself. I have to take personal accountability for whatever it is, you know what I mean? Even if there was another person, even if somebody else did do something that wasn't right, you cannot keep waiting around for that person, right, to do what you want them to do. You have to take the power back, and you have to take the sword, get honest with yourself, and realize that you are the creator here, that you are the creator, that you are the one that can heal this, that you are the one that can embrace the truth that needs to be embraced. And we literally have flip it upside down, question your beliefs. We also have Ally in disguise, discover the hard to find blessing, right? So whether this was a relationship, whether this was a family member, whoever it was, it may have seemed like they targeted you, but maybe it was actually a blessing in disguise. And how can you look for the good in it? How can you look for what beauty came out of it, right? We also have the Quest, plunge boldly into life. I feel like it's your time, Cancer, but there are some things from the past that need to be reconciled, that need to be worked out in order for you to move on. Ace of Swords. You need to get mentally clear. You need to get in your full truth. There may be something you need to speak up about too, you know. This is a time of healing your pain. This is not a time, though, of escaping your pain. I will say that with those 3 cards. We also have new beginnings, which we saw with the Fool as well. we have masculine and the will. So for some of you, this could also have to do with masculine energy. This could also be healing the masculine energy within you, or some of you could be a little bit too into your masculine energy and need to take a step back into your feminine energy to nurture yourself through whatever comes up with this Mercury retrograde. You're going to get signs and clues for it the first couple weeks of September. So make sure that you're watching out for that. Okay, whatever comes up these first few weeks of September is going to come back around with this Mercury retrograde, which happens on the 27th of the month. So, other than that, we have Mars moving into Libra, which is your 4th house, which may stir up some confrontation, some conflict, some old anger or resentments when it comes to your home and family, or when it comes to relationships, or when it comes to the past or certain past relationships. It may also be a good time to move, or it may be, or you may start thinking about moving. It may not be such a good time to move if during the Mercury retrograde, unless you have Mercury retrograde in your chart already. You may want to wait a little bit longer on that than September. But for some of you, you may still do it anyway. You know what I mean? Can't really stop you there. I don't think it would be the worst thing in the world, but just want to make sure you're reading the details and that there's nothing that comes back around to bite you in the ass that you didn't realize later. So that's the only thing with that. Some of you guys could be moving back somewhere that you used to live, or something like that, or taking a trip back to somewhere. So that could be the case as well. And everything else going on in September, we're going to address in the new and full moon videos this month. So make sure you check out those videos. We will go over each sign in those videos. So make sure that you're subscribed so you can see when those are uploaded. But that is what I have for you guys for the month of September, Cancer. Definitely let me know down below if this was helpful for you, and if this does end up resonating with you. I would really love to hear about it, and it really helps me out when you guys comment below, helps my video out. And if you would like a more personalized reading, just go down to the description below. I also have a Patreon where I do uncensored weekly live astro hangouts where we talk about the astrology for the week and what's all the crazy shit going on in the world, where we can talk freely and be uncensored and in a non-judgmental place. And I also talk a lot more freely over on my Instagram as well. And yeah, I also post a lot daily on my Instagram about stuff going on astrologically and how the astrology is relating to the world over there as well. So anyways, I will see you guys in my other videos, Cancer. Thank you for watching. Bye. What's up, Leo? Welcome to your September 2021 Tarot and Astrology horoscope. I hope you guys are doing well. And let's get into it, my fellow Leo risings, or if you're a Leo sun or moon, this may resonate as well, but make sure to check out your other signs. So, all this Virgo season energy, right? It's like, I keep seeing these memes and they're like so accurate. It's like if Leo is like the big freaking bonfire, it's like Virgo's over there trying to put it out with the fire extinguisher. You know what I mean? It's like, damn, you know, like we had the party and now we are cleaning up after the party, basically, right? And so, yeah, Virgo is our second house. Money, honey, resources, income, that which supports us, that's which supports who we are, what we can become, our potential, what we want to be, anything that we feel is supporting us and our endeavors, right? And so we are at a point where we are reorganizing this part of our lives. You know, we are kind of finding the balance between our ideals and what we want and big picture stuff, future stuff, versus right here, right now, what do we need to do, right? It can be really easy to kind of fly off into that future focused mind frame. It can be really easy to kind of get caught up in, oh, I want this and I want that and I want to do this and I want to do that, or I'm lost, I don't know what I want to do, you know, I don't even know where I'm going. And it's really important that we reel it in, that we practice discernment, and that we focus on the small things, the little things that need to be done right here, right now, you know. And some of that stuff may not be so pretty, some of that stuff may not be necessarily what we desire or what we really, you know, want, or what we're really going for, but it's what needs to happen. It's what we have to do. this month is about really reflecting on how we can work smarter, not harder, right? And yeah, that's basically the big themes of the month, I think. We are also seeing and changing a lot about how we go about things, about how we go about making money. Some of us could be considering other forms of revenue, or doing things in a way that is different, you know. Maybe some of us were waiting for things to come, or waiting for something, but Seven of Pentacles reversed. It's like, yeah, we can't keep waiting on this. We have to take action. We have to do something. We have to start planting those seeds of intention, right? And we need to know when to push ourselves, when to work, when to be in that, you know, working and getting shit done type of energy, and when to give ourselves a break, when to relax, when to have fun, and when to enjoy ourselves. And that can be, we could do that to the extreme, one or the other to the extreme very easily right now in this month. So you do want to practice discernment with that. Speaking of discernment, we have two fucking cards, you guys, from two different decks talking about discernment, right? Divine discernment, step back and find clarity. And then we also have just discernment from this deck. So I definitely feel like this month is, once again, work smarter, not harder, right? Like, how can we do that? And with Virgo in our second house as Leo risings, we're not people that are super money motivated, depending on what else that you have in your chart, right? I mean, you could have some other placements that may change that. So don't freak out, and, you know, if that's not necessarily you. But so we're always trying to find ways to work smarter, not harder, and find ways to support the lifestyle that we want to have. And this month, a lot of that is under reflection. You know, Mercury is going retrograde at the end of the month, but we're going to start really feeling it these next few weeks in September. And it's going retrograde in Libra, our third house of self-expression, what we do on a day-to-day basis, how we communicate, how we articulate. Things that need to be done on a day-to-day basis, right? Our kind of primary social life, also learning, and certain tasks that need to be done on a day-to-day basis. It's kind of going to be a time where we are possibly questioning our strength, especially once the sun moves into Libra towards the end of the month. On the 22nd, the sun does not like to be in Libra, and Leo is ruled by the sun. So therefore, it can definitely be a time where our strength is put to the test, where maybe we are having to do things that are more practical and that will bring us more quality in the end, that maybe we don't like as much at the time, or maybe it's a little bit of an ego deflation, you know what I mean, to do. But it needs to be done, and in the end, you still remain this Queen of Pentacles status, you know what I mean? So, fuck it, right? You can still be the king or queen and do the servant's job, right? Sometimes it needs to be done, and a good king or queen will have experience as all kinds of different, you know, in all kinds of different walks of life, right? All kinds of different archetypes. And so, but that may make you come to a point where you are kind of under self-reflection, you know what I mean? Where we are really reflecting on ourselves, how we go about expressing ourselves, our opinions, our how we articulate ourselves, right? With all of this third house energy, our social lives, how we come across. And, you know, I think that it's really important to remember, it's not that we need to completely forget about our long-term goals, what we emotionally want for the long term, what would be emotionally fulfilling to us, where our heart is, our dreams, our sense of humanity and helping others, and what we want to do in terms of the big picture. It's important not to forget that, right? Like, we can still have those dreams, but we also have to find ways and be smart about right here, right now, right? about our money, about our resources. We can't really be helping other people when we don't have the means to do that, right? At some point, we have to be smart, we have to save, we have to invest, or we have to play this game that we're in, whether we agree with it or not. It's the kind of world that we're living in right now. And it doesn't mean that we can't participate in trying to, you know, change that, but we can really, we have to survive in the process, right? And I know that's been something big for me that's been really coming up a lot, is these big picture things, and how everything kind of fits in to that, and all of that. If you didn't see my September astrology video where I kind of went on a rant in the beginning, got a little controversial, talked about my personal stance on where things are in the world, astrologically and just as a human intuitively, then yeah, I talked about it in there. But anyways, it's a time of really celebrating what we need to lay the foundation, right? The Empress is the foundation. This is where we set intentions, we make it through the seasons, we do what we have to survive, then we can enjoy the fruits of our labor, and then we can get to where we want to go, right? Another big thing, Leo, is that a lot of us may be caught up in some fear about future focused things as well. We may be caught up in some disagreement, some hostility, some, you know, a lot of the world is, right? A lot of the world is. And we want change, but at the same time, there's just a lot of fear, and there's a lot of things that are unknown for everybody, no matter which side of the spectrum you fall on, right? There's a lot of things that are just unknown, and that are, that we're not going to 100% know about right now. I do think a lot's going to come out in the next few months, but right now it's important to approach this from a Queen of Cups standpoint. We also have the Anima Mundi card, and this is a beautiful freaking card. It talks so much about accepting differences and allowing things to be different and not refusing anyone or anything just because of their differences. So let me actually read you what this card talks about, because I think a lot of you may really relate to it. So it's the soul of the world, all that is. The embrace of Anima Mundi is available anytime, anywhere, to anyone, day or night, rich or poor. It is a process of unveiling our resistance to its love. So it says the Anima Mundi, sorry, I can't say this word, epitomizes the principle accept all, reject none. Simply put, it is the living soul of the world and all of its multifaceted, multidimensional layers bonded together by loving cosmic forces. Diversity is celebrated, multiplicity is honored, and nothing is denied embrace. Constructs of separation dissipate into the wonderful mess of shared consciousness. Anima Mundi is the link between the literal and the imaginal, the rational and the mythic. It is the connection fiber that makes life meaningful. This card indicates an initiation on the level of the soul. You will awaken the unique light within and witness how this light contributes to the radiance of the entire universe. You will sense yourself as a critical note in the cosmic orchestra. Destiny is altered as you hear the enchanted melody of all living things. It is tending to the sacred details of life. It can also be overwhelmed by the bigness of existence. Alchemical drawings of Anima Mundi, the life and paintings of Hilma A.F. Clint. And it says Anima Mundi is the energy behind the world card in the tarot deck. Both carry themes of universal unity, completeness, and embrace. And so I think this month, with all of this stuff moving to Libra, we are going to really be considering more sides than just one, right? Our thinking, the way we're thinking about things are going to change. We are going to want to harmonize. We are going to want to be that light. And so I think the first few weeks of this month, it's really important that you almost get knocked off that pedestal a little bit, because then you have new experiences that can help you relate to others and help you lead and guide others that are struggling or that are having trouble, right? But first you got to worry about you first and foremost, you know, because if you're not cool, if you're not stable, there's no way you're going to be able to fully be in the moment of helping others. There's no way you're going to be fully confident in yourself to help others, you know? There's no way that you're going to allow yourself to, you know, you're going to be coming from an unstable place, basically, and that's going to affect it. So allow yourself to have those different experiences this month, Leo. We also have the eternal child. And I think that coming at things from that mind frame of empathy, right? Of wanting to understand someone's perspective, and even if you disagree or not coming at it in like such a fierce, I'm right, you're wrong kind of way, right? Like allowing yourself to have fun and come at a place from hope and connecting to that core within you this month. Remembering that you are the fucking sun, even while we are going into shadow season and the sun is slowly declining. Either way, it will be born again, right? It will be fucking born again, and it doesn't mean that the sun is fucking not there. It's still fucking there, right? Like, it's still fucking powerful. We're just looking at it from a different angle, right? And that's what we're doing with us right now, right? We're seeing ourselves from a different angle, self-reflection, right? We also have the change card. And so definitely some big changes coming up this month for Leos. And some of those changes may regard our relationships, also health and vitality, our energy, where we're putting our energy. And once again, work smarter, not harder. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to enjoy yourself, but don't escape your responsibilities, because that will, you know, also bite you in the ass too. You know what I mean? It's really finding that line. It's really being discerning. So yeah, I do feel like, you know, we did get the card, won the lottery, right? I don't think it's actually meaning that literally. It says make room for wonderment. But I do think there is joy to be had through this month, and there are possibly unexpected fulfillment. There is possibly unexpected fulfillment throughout this month. If we are just discerning, basically, right? So that is your reading, Leo. Definitely let me know down below if this reading resonated with you, or you feel like it's going to resonate with you. Feel free to come back throughout the month and watch it again if you feel you need to. Also, watch out for my new and full moon videos. I will be doing horoscopes in there as well for the new and full moon, and be getting a little bit more into the smaller transits of this month, which are still impactful, but just not, you know, the more big overview generalization of them. And yeah, also check my description down below. I'm doing a sale right now on my personal readings if you're interested. That is all down in the description below. Also, you can get my weekly live stream, uncensored, that I only have exclusive for Patreon for $5 a month, where we talk freely about all the stuff going on in the world and what's coming up this week, how to deal with it. All of that. You can ask questions, we hang out, we talk, it's really cool. You can find my Patreon down below as well. Also follow me on Instagram. I post a lot on there as well. So thank you, Leo. It was good talking with you guys, and I will see you guys in my other video, and that concludes the signs.